What's going on, Nick?
What's up, bro?
Do you use intra workout?
Always.
Intra R3?
Every time.
I gotta have it cold. You gotta have it cold?
Extra cold.
So the guys at Ice Shaker knew I liked it cold and knew that I liked ice in my drink while I was doing during my workout. And they fucking sent me this. Did you get one? Because they knew you liked it too. You got one too.
I got one.
Look how fucking big this thing is. It's like the size of my head. And it's got a handle on it. And you can take the top off so you can put ice in it and stuff. And you don't need a funnel. It's got a massive opening.
Never need a funnel with this thing.
Never need a funnel. It's perfect.
Never.
Keep everything cold for like that hour and a half that you're training.
Ice cold.
Let me show you.
Let's see it.
So this is the Ice Shaker website. If you go here, use code RBP at checkout, you get 20% off. This is the jug. Look at, you get the 1 gallon jug and the half gallon jug. I think you got the half gallon. I think I got the full. No, you got the 1 gallon.
This is a full.
Let me see it again.
This is the gallon. Yeah, look at
That's
this
a gallon. I got the gallon too. Look at this fucking thing.
This thing is huge.
Crazy shit, man. All right, listen. Are you gonna? So you got one. So tell your buddies that you can use code RBP at Ice Shaker and get 20% off their order.
20% off, baby. Yeah.
Are you gonna tell them?
I'm gonna tell them every single one.
Okay. Evan, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, dude?
Is that your backyard?
Yeah, well, technically the side of my house headed toward the front yard. Can you see the well in the background?
So, can I see what in the background?
Can you see the well?
No.
There's a well over there somewhere.
Okay. You have a beautiful piece of property.
Ah, thank you.
What, you've been living there a long time, right?
Yeah, 2010 I bought this house. It's an older house, so it's from the 1920s. It was in like complete disrepair when I bought it. Oddly, a family rented it for 30 years.
Okay.
Don't ask me why you would rent a house for 30 years.
Yeah.
But they did. So obviously, being renters, they never did any maintenance. And then the house sat empty for a couple of years. So when I bought it, dude, like the house had frozen, like the oil ran out, the house froze, the pipes burst. It had, lead paint coming off the ceiling and sheets, and asbestos, and there was some mold in the basement. I mean, basically anything that could be wrong was wrong. But it was a great piece of property. The setting is beautiful, and the house itself is just. I mean, I'm not like saying, "Oh, I have a beautiful house," but it was just a great house. Like
the bones of it.
Yeah, good layout, had a good feel to it. Some houses, you walk in and any environment you walk into has a certain feeling.
Yeah.
And it just had, like, no, this is a good house. It needs a lot of work, but this is a good house. And it took like a year, but got it in order. So
you got it for a steal or what? Because it was all broken down, right? So you probably got it pretty cheap.
I got it for a decent price, but even then, man, the people who owned it, it had been in their family for a long time, and they owned the house next door. The house next door was like late 1700s, and like, fucking George Washington stayed there on his way to a battle and jerked off there and stuff, So they,
is that true? Is that a fact?
I don't know if he jerked off there. He probably did.
Okay.
But no, George Washington did actually.
Oh, he did actually stay there.
Did stay there, and as owned by a fucking Vanderbilt or some shit. So they kind of knew what they had. They knew they had something nice, and they didn't really want to part with it. But yeah, so I can't. I wish I could say I stole it. Yeah. Although, I mean, like what the housing market has done since I bought it. Obviously, I'm in a good position. There's a lot of equity in the house. It's appreciated pretty well. And honestly, I don't plan to ever leave anyway. So,
did you do the work yourself in the house? Like, I know you like that kind of shit. Or did you hire a bunch of people?
Well, all the demolition stuff I did myself. But no, at the time I was, still bodybuilding full time, and all the carpentry work that had to be done. Somebody did that, and good buddy of mine is a plumber. A good buddy of mine does HVAC work.
Yeah.
So I was lucky to kind of call on people that I know, and they did good for me, and at a
Sure.
good price. And I mean, when I look back at prices I paid for certain things, oh my God, I couldn't come close to that now. Just the prices are so astronomical. So it was good timing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's beautiful because we do. So for those people who don't know, me and Evan started a Telegram. The app is Telegram, and you started a platform, circles there, where we kind of do a group chat. Me, you, Frank, Jose. It's a group of professional bodybuilders and Juji, Lee Priest, and the list goes on. So in that chat, you've been showing your home a lot, and I'm like, man, that's a big piece of property.
Yeah, I mean, there's about 2 acres here. Unfortunately, about half of it is wooden, and it's technically wetlands, so there's nothing I can really do with it.
Yeah.
But I'm actually in the process of putting up a 3-car garage. And I'm going through like the approval process at the moment.
Yeah.
So that would be big for me. I'm really like looking forward to that.
Why do you? why do you want to do that? Is it because you want to create a workspace, or are you into cars now?
Well, the vehicles I have, I would like to have them garaged, and I haven't bought a new car in God, I don't know how many years. But if I get to the point where I do want to purchase a new car, I would never want a new car and have it be sitting outside. So,
what do you get? No, this is actually just sparks my curiosity because I
what
know
am I
you're very
gonna buy?
well, because you're very methodical in your purchases. Because I know you own you own like an old Toyota or something, like a
It's an
Nissan.
old,
Nissan.
Pathfinder, yeah.
That's right. And you own an old Audi, I think, too.
Not anymore. I got rid of that. Yeah, I have a heart. What I enjoy, it's if I'm going to purchase a car, I have to enjoy it, right? I have to like it, but also it has to be something where I know I'm not just lighting my money on fire. So some cars, you're gonna like you buy a new 4Runner.
Yeah.
I mean, it has some of the best resale value of anything you're gonna buy. I happen to not really be too partial to them. I don't really like them.
Yeah.
But I heard they're coming out with a new one in the next year or two. So depending on what the interior looks like, Toyota is notorious for having like fucking horrible interiors.
Shit interior, yeah.
So if it has a good interior, I might consider a new 4Runner. You know what I would love? If I could drive, well, not anything.
You could have anything within reason. What would it be?
Anything within reason would probably be, I think this year was the last year for the Toyota Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
But Lexus obviously makes the equivalent. It used to be the LX 450, then the LX 470. So it's basically a Land Cruiser, but it's a Lexus version of it. If I could drive anything within reason, that would be it. But that fucking thing's like $100,000.
Okay, that's a nice vehicle, but you're very American, but you're not American when it comes to your car purchases.
Wow, you're right. You're right, and that's something I feel really, really guilty about, and I've struggled a lot over the years because I feel that I can't go wrong with a Japanese SUV. I've always had really good luck with Japanese SUVs, and every time, whether it's buying a Jeep or a Chevy, whatever it is, I end up fucking regretting it. I fucking regret it. It pains me. They just make me regret it every time. Because look, a vehicle is one of the largest purchases you're going to make. And, here's a guy who, look, if I'm buying, I don't know, dishes or fill in the blank, I will opt for something made in the USA. Like I do opt for that when possible. So for my vehicle to be the one thing that is not made in the USA is absolutely absurd and, almost feel hypocritical.
Right.
But I feel like every time I purchase an American vehicle, I'm fucking punished for it. So
what American vehicles have you purchased that punished you?
Probably the Jeep the most. I'll never buy another fucking Jeep.
What Jeep did you buy? Like a Jeep or like a Cherokee?
No, a Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
And just absurd, stupid things go wrong. And it's like, I've had three or four Pathfinders, and I can just run them into the ground.
Yeah.
Like I could drain the oil out of it and fill it with fucking Kool-Aid and drive it from here to California and back, and like get double what I paid for it.
I know.
And then I don't know, the Jeep. I had a Chevy Trailblazer. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just but
I don't think you're wrong. You're definitely right.
you know what I really do like though are the new Tahoes. I think are beautiful. I really like those.
Yeah.
My dad has a brand new Suburban. He always buys Suburbans. He had one before that, and that's a truck that could probably go a few 100,000 miles without issue.
But I have, so the Escalade, the Tahoe, and the Denali are all built on the same platform.
Absolutely.
And I have the Escalade. It's already been in the shop 3 times.
For
really, really dumb shit. Just like dumb, like the gas can, like where you put gas in, the door, the fuel door.
Yeah.
You push it and it's supposed to open.
Right.
And I push it and it doesn't open. So I had to rip the fuel door off because I was in Toronto and I'm like, I got a quarter tank of gas. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna get back to Windsor, right?
Did you make a big scene when you were doing it? You should have been like, ah!
Just pull like a roid rage. No.
Throw it on the ground.
No, I was panicking because I'm like, I can't get the fucking fuel door open. I can't get back home.
What the fuck?
So I literally like pried my fat fingers in there somehow and ripped the fuel door off. And I managed to, but it just little like, and then the fucking, I don't know, the defrost got all clogged up and it wasn't defrosting properly. Just really, really dumb shit.
What year?
It's a fucking 22, 21.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like you guys have been making cars for how long? It's like, why are we having these problems?
You know what? You know why? Because Cadillac is trying to compete with BMW. And they're trying to compete with the other main luxury brands. Right. But those main luxury brands, like if you buy a BMW X7.
Dude, I was just going to say, man, I've been a long time fan of X5s. I love X5s.
Yeah. So like if you buy an X5, or I'm trying to think bigger just because the size of the Escalade, right? If you buy an X7 or if you buy a Range Rover full size, you're paying 150 to 180, depending on what's in it, right? The Cadillac is 130. So I think that $20,000 to $40,000 gap, where they're trying to save money so the American market will buy it. That's at the behest of quality.
You know, having owned American, German, and Japanese automobiles, I really do think that when it comes to reliability and overall value, I think you cannot beat Japanese vehicles. I think that the American cars come second in the sense that they are, you know, stupid things go wrong with them. But in terms of what they cost and the reliability, I think they're pretty good. The German cars are the most beautiful, enjoyable cars on, you know, to drive on the road. They're the most beautiful, the best to drive, hands down, style, the whole nine, and they're just such pieces of shit. They are for cars that
they depreciate the fastest.
They're so like, you know, you can look at the suspension. Oh my God, look at the way this thing is engineered. It's like a work of art. And at the end of the day, it's a fucking piece of shit because it breaks. They break so prematurely. Look, if you have a German car with 100,000 miles or you have a Japanese car with 100,000 miles and you go to sell it, the sentiment right off the bat is, this fucking German car gonna have problems. And then with the Japanese car,
no problem. Yeah.
This thing's just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
And I read an interesting article a while back, and it was kind of trying to explain the difference between Japanese, American, and you know, German automobile manufacturers, and kind of almost how it's like a cultural thing, and how when a German manufacturer produces an automobile, it's produced a certain way. They have an idea in mind of exactly how it's supposed to be maintained.
Yeah.
Whereas when a Japanese manufacturer produces a vehicle, they produce it according to how they think it's going to be maintained.
I understand. Yeah.
However, I will say, having owned a couple German cars, Audi, Volkswagen, even a BMW, you could do everything you're supposed to do, right? Mm-hmm. Follow the maintenance schedule perfectly, use all the right fluids, all the right parts, and the fucking thing still breaks.
Yeah.
Whereas the Japanese one, you could treat it like it's a piece of dirt, and it just always pulls through for you. And listen, if money was no object, the German automobiles, I think they're the most enjoyable to drive. I think they're the most beautiful. And that's probably what I would drive if I just didn't give a fuck.
Why do you give a fuck about money so much? Well, first, let me say hi to Ian. Ian, what's going on?
Hi to both of you.
Evan, do you have the full screen or just the one? Evan.
Yeah.
Do you have the full screen or no?
I see me up in the corner and then I see you, but I don't see you.
Go to the top right and there should be a thing where you can click gallery. In the top right corner, you'll see a thing that says view. If you click the thing that says view, you can change it to gallery view and then you can see both of us at the same time. Or all three of us, sorry. You can look for that while Ian, what's going on?
Not much. You?
Nothing. Your face looks leaner already.
Already? I've been dieting for fucking 10 weeks.
I know, but it's like I saw you last week and this week it's leaner.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
What happened?
A little tan too, so it's a little,
Oh, did you start the melanotan?
I started it, but I don't know what. I usually use it and I feel okay. Like I feel like a little crappy before bed if I take it, and then I usually wake up fine. This time I was starting to take it and I'd wake up the next morning. I still felt like fucking junk. And I was just like, fuck that. So I used it for like 2 or 3 shots of it. And then I just fucking scrapped it. I felt too like shitty the next morning,
Was it you that was telling me the melanotan gives you boners?
I wasn't telling you that, but that is a thing. Yes.
Okay. I've never used this. I don't know if it's true or not.
Dude, that stuff works really good.
Really?
Evan, is that what you used to?
Yeah, not for boners, but for getting tan, shit works great. I mean, dude, within like a few weeks, you look like a different race.
Yeah.
Evan, did you look like a different race?
Oh, you do, literally. Yeah.
Evan, did you figure out the gallery thing?
No, but it's okay. As soon as Ian talks, I can see him.
I know, but now Guy is here too. Guy, what's up?
I feel like Evan's just sitting outside just to purposely piss me off to show me.
He totally is. He's like, look at my grass.
It's such fucking. It's just such bullshit.
You see that turf?
So you guys are watching.
You see that? That's quality.
You guys are watching or not on Telegram. These two, Evan, you got to find the view button so you can see all of us. It's in the top right corner.
Top right. Yeah.
But it's not in my top.
Oh, he's
right.
on his phone. Maybe it's somewhere else when you're on your phone.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
He's got it to where like each individual pops up when they're talking.
Yeah. So only the guy talking pops up. Anyway, if you're on the Telegram thing that we're doing, and if you want to sign up, you got to download the app. It's Telegram, and then look for Centopani Circles. But him and Guy have this ongoing feud over who's got the better lawn, like old men. Just 2 fucking old guys. Like my lawn's cut better.
Imagine if we were like neighbors. I'd be like going over his lawn at like midnight and like throwing gasoline on it.
Dude, I would
make your dogs go piss over there.
I would douse your whole fucking lawn with Roundup.
Pumping it.
Ian, how's the diet going, man?
Great. Excellent.
How much have you lost anything, or are you just holding steady?
At what?
Like, have you lost any weight?
Still at 6 weeks out.
Wow. Oh, you're 6 weeks out already, eh? I can't believe how much time's flying. So what are you down to? Like 280, 270?
274, 273. Yeah.
So what are you probably gonna peak at what, 260?
Yeah, low 260s. I mean, I was 263 in Tampa was my heaviest last year, and then the rest of the shows I kind of averaged like 256 to 258. So I think I'll probably be, like Tampa weight, but with a bit better conditioning, hopefully. So that's the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll be 262 to 264. I think I have about 10 pounds to go.
Do you guys ever notice? You think it's strange that sometimes you can, like, from year to year, my weight didn't change that much, but you keep getting better?
Like recomp your body?
Is that fucking?
I'm still at the point where I think like every year I am gaining a few pounds. I don't think I'm at that point quite yet. Like, I mean, because 2020, the heaviest I was on stage was like in the low 250s, and then I was almost 10 pounds heavier with an average of maybe 6 pounds heavier in 2021, and then I think this year I'll be probably another 3 to 4 pounds heavier on average.
Yeah, but last year you said you were 263, and then now you're going to be in the
263 in my heaviest, but I did 4 shows last year.
So you're saying you weren't totally in shape at 263?
I was in good shape. I won Tampa Pro looking like that, but in Texas, where I was my best, I was 258.
Okay.
And the Arnold, I was 256. So I think my best at that year was somewhere in the 256, 258 if I wanted to be like 100%. And I think this year at that same conditioning, I can be there at 262 to 263.
So what you're saying is that your best, me and you were the same weight.
like that you weigh right now.
No. When I was at my best, I was 258. So.
Well, no, because I'll be heavier than that this year. So
we'll see. We'll see.
I've already surpassed you, and I'm only 31, so it's okay.
You haven't surpassed me. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm about to.
So let me get this straight. You go to Texas, you get a Texas mug. Buy
I don't have a Texas mug. It's I love my dog mug.
You get your first dog, you get a dog mug.
Are you going to say something about my shirt?
You go to Texas, you get a Texas mug. You buy your first bike. Now you're like the Harley Davidson and
they fucking gave it to me, you little dick.
You're such a I see how it. You go all in with these hobbies.
Of course I go all in. What do you do? Half it? I'm not gonna half it. Buy the bike, buy the gear, buy the clothing, fucking live the whole lifestyle. See, look, now you're gagging on yourself just because you try to fucking rip on me. No, they fucking
so sick, man.
When you buy a $30,000 motorcycle, they give you a free shirt. It's worth it.
It was like that motorcycle. It was like 10 grand.
What's that?
That motorcycle was like 10 grand.
No, it wasn't. Anyway,
Guy, you end up talking to the girl at Starbucks, guy, or no?
She hasn't been there, but right here, this is what I did find.
How she look though?
Yeah, you never told us. Is she gross? She might watch it. She might watch this. Be careful.
Yeah, I got to be careful because I went and my buddy, I was in Starbucks the other day and I was talking to him and he knew her and then showed the Instagram and she follows me and I'm like, I don't even know this girl. It's weird.
Before you say anything, I'm going to say right now, she's a 6.5.
Huh?
What is it?
Why
I don't know. That's just what comes to me.
No, I'm
going to say 7 at least.
6.5. I would say like 7.4.
That's
okay.
Good.
Yeah, I would say anyway. She's got it. I would put her in at least a 7.
Where do you guys think marriage material is? Because I always think marriage material is somewhere between 7 and 9.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
You don't want to. I wouldn't want to marry under like a 7.5. That's like 75%. That's like a good bit, like bare minimum for marriage. You know.
So when you say
7, I think 7 is the minimum for me.
But marrying like a full 10 is like probably has problems.
It's too high maintenance.
Well, that's the hot crazy scale, right?
Yeah, I've seen the video. Yeah.
What I'm saying is when we
just
get
asking
that
for
number, we're talking about personality, looks, sex,
everything.
like
Yeah. No.
everything.
I was talking about looks.
Just looks.
Yeah, because personality could be a 10.
That's what I'm asking. I'm like,
I'm saying,
is this like a rate my?
No, it's what is the acceptable low bottom number for marriage?
As far as looks.
As far as looks.
Okay.
So I'm saying 7, and you usually can't marry over a 9.
Okay, but for the 7, like that 7, she's got to have some like thrilling other attributes, you know?
Well, you could have a 7
that 7 in totality. That 7 should be a 10 by the time everything else is considered.
When you
she should be fucking hilarious, and she should like be
when you add everything else,
and, like a bunch of stuff, you know?
Yeah, she's like got a great job. She's fucking really easy to talk to. She's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She's great in bed.
Sure.
And then you add all those things up and you got like a 9.5, 10. Yeah. I don't think there's such a thing as a 10 though. You never get a 10.
No.
My therapist a long time ago told me, he's like, you only get 80%. There's always 20% wrong with everybody you meet, no matter what. It just depends what that 20% is.
Your wife is only an 8 out of 10?
Everybody's an 8 out of 10. Everybody. There's 20% fucked up with you, Ian. I guarantee if I ask Melissa,
shit, she'd probably give me way more than 20%.
Yeah, exactly.
She came on here and gave us a therapy session with how he.
Remember last week? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's giving me 50-50 at best.
What do you think, Evan? What would your wife say? There's 20% wrong or more?
I mean, no. I'm like a 95.
Fuck that.
Everybody's fucked up. Everybody's fucked
what
up.
is, if you could say the one thing that's fucked up, what would it be?
Me? My problem?
Anybody, yeah. Anybody wants to answer?
Do you still not wear deodorant? That's
I remember that from back in the day, guy.
I would guest pose with me, him, and Jeff Long years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were standing backstage. I was like, why does it smell like like a cafeteria? Like, what stinks? And Evan goes, oh, it's probably me. I don't wear deodorant anymore.
I remember that.
I was like, what?
You scared of like the aluminum or something?
Evan was like,
I remember exactly what I said.
don't
'cause
know.
I said cafeteria.
I think I remember him saying something like, if you eat clean enough, then you don't have toxins
Yeah,
in your body.
there would be times where I didn't smell like anything, and then times where I would fucking stink.
But why don't you wear deodorant?
I do now. I don't know. It was like a thing, and then I don't know. I just refused to do it just to be stubborn.
Evan, so I looked. So Evan was like the first bodybuilder that like I like trained with as far as like big time bodybuilders, and I looked up to Evan a lot. So when I was coming up, like Evan was the one who was like getting into like no plastic and glass containers.
Yeah,
and he
I
would
remember that.
drink out of a glass bottle. And I was like, okay, I like Evan's like I wanna be better. So I buy like glass water bottle. You know how many times I broke a glass water bottle in the fucking gym?
I know.
Yeah. So I was like always trying to like follow like what Evan would do, because I'm like, all right, well, there's a reason he's doing. He's very smart. He's very like, planned. So I'm like, there's got to be a reason. He's, he said this is bad. This has got shit in it. And then after a while, I'm like, we're all gonna die at some point.
Do you still do all that, or was that just a phase?
I mean, I still use Pyrex glass dishes.
I still have them.
Yeah, I really don't like plastic. I mean, sometimes, yeah, I don't know, plastic bottles, whatever.
Because I noticed you've relaxed a little bit in the last like couple of years. It seems like you've changed a little.
I think, as Guy said, you're like, I'm gonna fucking die. So whatever, dude. Plastic, come take me.
Ian, are you watching the show right now?
I am.
You paid for the pay-per-view?
Yeah, because I had a guy in the show. So
do you want to fill us in on what's going on?
We're just waiting for bodybuilding to go on, I believe.
Oh, wait, I got some classic photos. Guy, Evan, I don't know if you know, but the Toronto pros today. Guy, I don't know if you knew either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
Isn't Mo Shaban doing it?
Yeah.
So this is the classic. This is Cody, friend from Toronto.
Yeah.
This guy's also, is this Tyler? He's also from.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Cody looks pretty good.
The Asian guy is the most impressive from the front, but from the back, he's weak, and Tyler is definitely much better. So I would give.
Okay, there we go. Here's some shots. This guy looks really good.
Yeah, but that's what I just said. From the back, he's not good.
I know. I don't know his name. Who is that?
I'm not sure. He's tagged there. Beautiful monster, John Kwan.
John Kwan. It's funny. I see people. I think I saw a thing yesterday, and I don't know if somebody's going to get mad at this, but I saw a thing yesterday where Kuba. You guys know who Kuba Callan is?
Classic.
Yeah, he's switching to classic, and I'm like, I just see a bodybuilder. I don't know how that's going to work.
Just doesn't use.
I don't want to sound like
picture.
Yeah, let me pull up some pictures. Sorry.
I don't want to sound like a dick, but I mean, I feel like 92% of guys that do classic are just guys that can make the weigh-in.
Or making the weights. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not saying that's Kuba, but when I shows I'm trying to find the photos here. Sorry, there it is. When he showed the photos, I was like, it's just a bodybuilder. It's not like, this is a bodybuilder. This isn't how classic looks. Now, maybe his lines will change as he comes down in weight, but
maybe Evan, maybe Fouad, maybe he just doesn't want to get bigger.
Oh, no, I understand that. I'm not saying that he should have to get big. I'm saying I don't think you can be classic just because you can make the weight.
Yeah, I agree.
And the reason I say that, and I'm not saying he can't do it. Who knows what he's going to look like when he comes down in weight, but because when you look at his amateur photos, there's one here, like that looks kind of classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks real good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. So I could be totally wrong. Like when he gets down in weight, he could look like he fits the class perfectly. But the reason I thought of it is when you look at this class here, I think you can kind of see the guys that belong in classic. Like this is a classic physique to me. Right. Like some of these guys don't necessarily have the structure. They're just the right weight.
Right. I feel like it's tough once you've been bigger. On the way down, it kind of doesn't. You're different on the way down than on the way up. Like when you're like right now, I don't know. I mean, I turned pro at like 240.
Yeah.
If I got down to 240 right now, I don't think I would look as good as I did at that 240
going up
10 plus years ago. Yeah, it's just different.
I agree. It's something It's like the muscle looks stringier. It doesn't look as full and round. Like I'm gonna find out because I'm like running right now and I'm losing weight. I'm down to like 258 or something like that. As I get down into my 230s, I'm gonna see if it looks like complete shit or not.
It will.
No, I don't think it's gonna look
Thanks,
shitty. I
Ian.
think you're
Thanks,
gonna.
Ian.
Ian's always a fucking.
Ian's like, you're gonna look like crap.
He's always there to pick you up, man.
Anyways, what were you gonna say, Evan? Go on.
No, I think you'll probably look really good. You actually might start to look younger and like more rejuvenated and like look fresher. But then but when it comes to like actually being on a stage, it's so different,
Yeah. No.
But no, I don't doubt that you at 230 or in the 220s. I bet you look really good.
I feel, you know what? I feel better for sure. Just running, man. I can't believe the difference. Like, Guy, you said you're gonna start running.
Yeah, I'm gonna try starting tomorrow. You know what it is? I still have really bad wheezing in my chest.
I know, but when you're better, like when you get over this cold or whatever you got, or flu. I know you said you have anxiety at night about like a heart attack and like you have like these issues.
Yeah, ever since John, George, and Sean passed.
Yeah, I know. So do I. Honestly, I think about it every single fucking day. But I can say since I started running, I feel better. I feel less anxiety.
Really?
Because my blood pressure has come down. Like, even like I'm still taking medication, but I'm almost getting to the point now where I have to get off my medication.
That's awesome, dude.
Because my blood pressure is almost too low, right? And then my resting heart rate went from 85 to 70. So that's also
my resting heart rate when I
didn't tell you the best part.
Oh,
I could fuck forever now. Literally. Like there's no panting. I'm going and I'm like, I could just go. I could just keep going.
What now? I got more. I got to do shit all day.
Like round 2. What's up?
Yeah. I didn't hear the bell.
It's a nice change from just fat, sweaty.
Oh my God.
Pouring sweat on his wife's face.
300.
That's when you got to talk shit. You're like, you want some more? I got lots of more. I'm going to fuck you so hard your mama don't feel it.
No, seriously, man. 300-pound Fouad was like, I'm laying on my back. I ain't fucking moving. And I would still be breathing heavy at the end of it.
Really?
Oh my God. Sometimes when we were done, my wife would be like, are you okay? I'm like, just give me a minute. I need to catch my breath. It's
when I got my CT angiogram, I actually got nervous because the lady was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah.
What do you mean? Why?
Because my resting heart rate,
are you okay?
My resting heart rate was 47, 48.
What the fuck? Why?
Yeah. She asked me, she's like, you a marathon runner? I'm like, thanks for the ego boost. No.
I wonder why.
She goes, you have a resting heart rate of like a marathon runner. I'm like, she goes, are you like, okay? I'm like, yeah. She goes, normally we have to give patients like something to calm them down because it's like a procedure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And she's like, you're good. I'm like,
the benefits of being 165 pounds like that.
Fucking Ian. Ian's here to make everybody feel better about themselves.
I don't want to be a dick because he has a show coming up, and I don't want to wish.
I know. You don't want to hurt his feelings right now. I know. He's too fragile. He might go.
I know. He might go AWOL. I don't want to do that. And you get one pass today.
Someone, I guess, just now at the Toronto Pro, when they were backstage, they were trying to do some kind of row with a band on the backstage, and they attached it onto the back of the big banner and pulled the whole thing down.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
They put their band over one of the bars on it and rode and it pulled the whole big banner down.
Holy fuck.
The whole backdrop. Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, so what's going on? I want to talk about this Telegram thing. Evan, what made you want to start it, and where do you see it going? Because honestly, before you answer, Guy, tell me, it just feels like an ongoing podcast.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, it's just like
that's why I tell people, I'm like, if you guys are on this, and subscribe to anything that any of us do, then you should watch it because people are always asking you, like, we want more podcasts, we want more podcasts. Evan had a great idea, and he turned it into what to me is just as fun as this. Like I look for, like this morning, I was gone all day at the show yesterday. I woke up this morning, I hit play for the ones that I missed. And there was like a ton, and they just go, and I just laugh because they're fucking hysterical.
I had like 103 circles one day. I was like, oh fuck, I got a lot to catch up on. I just played it, but I sat outside.
I don't skip them. I listen to all of them.
Like you were saying, for people who want more content, like about the podcast, and sometimes it's hard to do like 5-6 podcasts a week because we run out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
The Telegram thing is a good fill-in between the podcasts because we just talk about like daily shit. And it's like our daily, it's like for those who want to know what it is, it's basically like a group chat that you're allowed to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can comment.
So go ahead, Evan. Sorry.
I'd love to take credit for it, but I really can't. You know, as a partner of mine had the idea for it. And at first I was like, what? Like, what is it? How does it work? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it seems a little weird. But once we started, dude, the thing just like took off because it's so natural. And I'm not a big social media person. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not a really huge social media presence. It's not my natural thing, you know, to be like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this now. Hey, look at this, look at that, blah, blah, blah. But it really, like you said, it's kind of just an ongoing group chat, and it's a good group of guys. I mean, you know, me, you, Guy, Ian, why aren't you on there? Come join us.
I told you we should tell Ian.
And you know, Jose Raymond, Chris Tuttle, Antoine Vaillant, Flex Lewis, John Call, also known as Juji Mufu.
I didn't even know that was his name, by the way.
John Call.
Really?
You kept calling him John. I'm like, who the fuck is John?
That's hysterical.
And you know, Lee Priest. I mean, it's just such a good group of guys, and the conversation is just nonstop. And I find myself, it's not like, oh, I better get on there and say something or do something. No, it's just like I want to. And the biggest obstacle has been getting people to it, because obviously Telegram it's not Instagram, it's not Facebook, it's not TikTok, it's not a widely used app at this point. But if anyone just downloads it and subscribes to the channel, dude, you will not be disappointed, because it's just
Evan, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to show people so they know. So it looks like this. So if you go on your phone and you go to the App Store, you try to download it, this is what the icon looks like.
So this is what you use like with your drug dealer, right?
No, no, that's WhatsApp. Anyway,
no,
so
people do use that though, I think.
Yeah, I think Telegram is what a lot of guys use too.
Do they really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were just fucking around.
No.
Oh,
well, no.
okay.
The cool thing is too, I mean, Telegram, at least at this point, you know, it's not censored or it's not fucked with in any way.
How do I search? How do I search for your circles?
Geez, I've never done it that way.
Yeah, you gotta go through the app.
You're not on the app.
Oh, you got to do it through the app. Okay, you got to do it through the app. Okay.
You just search Centopani's circles and you hit subscribe. You know, it doesn't like cost anything. And for anybody who's a fan, or like if you like watching this podcast, you will definitely like watching this channel. So
yeah,
the hardest thing has been getting people to understand what it is and why they should do it. But once they do, like, wow, this is fucking awesome.
The only drawback I find is that when you miss a bunch of circles, like if I get away from it for a couple hours, and then I try and catch up, one of the conversations I want to get in on is already gone. Like you've moved on to another conversation. Right. So if you try and bring it back, it's kind of like, so you kind of got to stay on top of it all the time. And
I think the best thing about what Evan created is what he said. If people missed it, it's one of the only social media platforms where there's no censorship. We can be ourselves. We can say what I want. We can have unbiased opinions, and we can say what we want, and we do it, you know, respectfully. And I think, you know, we talked about, you know, I'm not going to get into it again, but, you know, we talked about the gun thing, and every one of us had very different views, opinions, thoughts, ways to fix the problem. So it's a very good open discussion forum amongst bodybuilders that people follow, that you get to see the other side of who we actually are and how we think and what we believe. And I think it's good. Like it's good to see how people can not be really on the same line, but on the same page, and can have conflicting views and still do it respectfully and you know, cordially.
Well, that's kind of what we do here. But the difference is we don't get into
really.
That's tricky, right? Me and Guy talked about this. We got into a little bit of political, and we talked about it on Telegram too, Evan. We got into a little bit of it's not really politics, I guess. We just got into a little bit of the gun conversation. And when I'm on here, I try and keep an open mind and give all sides of an argument, right? Doesn't mean it's my side. I just, you know, whether it's there should be more guns or less guns or whatever. And people got really fucking angry.
Really?
Yeah. And this is what I brought up on the thing. It's like, if you want to watch Guy brought up a really good point. We were talking on the phone the other day, and he said, listen, people watch the podcast and they think it's scripted. They don't realize that it's just 4 guys shooting the shit. And this is how guys talk. There's always different opinions, but and not everybody's gonna see eye to eye all the time. But people in the comments section really get offended if you don't see things their way.
You brought this up on the channel, and I've experienced that. People say, "Oh, I'm your biggest fan. You're the best. You're this, you're that." But then maybe one little thing that they don't really agree with you on, or just one little thing rubs them the wrong way, and it's like, "Yo, man, like fuck you," and blah blah blah. And it's like, wow, okay, you brought up Arnold, and that was a great example, because when he made that comment about I guess it was the vaccines, and he said, fuck your freedoms and stuff, and a lot of people, especially bodybuilders, like freaked out about it. I mean, when I heard the comment, I was like, I don't know, I don't think that was a good thing to say. Yeah. I don't really like hearing that, but at the same time, I wasn't like, yo, fuck Arnold, cancel that dude.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how fast somebody, like, all their accolades can be erased? Yeah. So I heard actual
the whole thing out over one thing.
I heard actual competitive bodybuilders saying, "Oh, fuck Arnold, what has he done anyways?" And I'm like, you guys understand?
What has he done?
You guys understand that he's literally put bodybuilding on the map.
Yeah, gave you the platform.
You guys understand that he literally pours
shit like this
hundreds of $1,000s into the fucking Arnolds every year.
One comment, and they'll be like, "I'm never watching an Arnold movie. I'm never going to the Arnold again." It's like, why?
Yeah.
Well, one thing I said to Fouad on the phone is that people have to understand, when we're on here, it's friends talking amongst friends. And whether you guys like it or not, like I told Fouad, bodybuilding, sometimes there's nothing to really talk. Like we've covered everything. There's no shows. We've talked about conversations about food, about gear, about this. Sometimes we just talk about life and things that are occurring. And we are allowed to give our opinions. And with everybody that watches podcasts, if you guys all think that you're all going to agree with what I say or Fouad says or Evan says or Ian or anybody on the podcast, you're going to be wrong, because I don't agree with what everybody says on the podcast. So at the end of the day, if people are going to watch it, you have to watch it on an unbiased opinion, because some of the things that we talk about on here, I would have the same conversation with Fouad on the phone about the same topics. And people
are allowed to disagree, because that's doing the same thing we're doing. Like, we can all disagree with each other,
but respectfully.
The way you do it and like have civil discourse is completely different than just being like, "Fuck you, you fucking faggot. I don't fucking listen to your gay ass podcast anymore because of that." It's like, what? Like, relax.
Well, this is everybody can have an opinion, obviously. Like, you have that right. But like, to give an example, I was don't ask me how I came across this video yesterday on Instagram, and girl was talking how she went into some bagel place. I mean, like, I was bracing for some kind of traumatic experience. She was like, the way she framed it was like this crazy, terrible incident just happened. And by the time I got done listening to the story, I'm like, that was it?
What happened?
That's what happened? And I could have wrote, well, that was really fucking stupid, or that was a real waste of, a minute of my time, or whatever. I could have made any comment I want, but I didn't, right? Yeah. Okay, I thought it was dumb, so I kept moving. There's a lot of things I see on a daily basis where someone maybe says something or does something, or I see something I don't like. Doesn't require that I say something. Like, there is such thing as you see something and you just move the fuck along. You move on. And you could say something if you want, of course. It's a free country, but it's not always necessary. Sometimes you could just shut the fuck up too.
Yeah. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I just want to say this one. I just want to say this one thing about the podcast. So a few of the comments I saw were, just stick to bodybuilding. You guys are bodybuilders. Don't. And I'm like, I think people forget the reason why I started the podcast. The reason why I started the podcast was so people could get to know bodybuilders outside of bodybuilding. So this thing where I sit here for 6 hours a week and have talks with bodybuilders is not about just macros and fucking training splits, and it's about getting to know these guys on a everything level. So if we talk about politics and you don't like it, that's what this podcast is for. It's to know, maybe I want to know what Ian's politics are. Maybe I want to know what Guy thinks about religion. Maybe I want to know what Evan thinks about fucking whatever, how the world's working. Like, it's not just about, if you want to fucking watch
like something like Joe Rogan just went and talked about like MMA on his podcast.
Yeah, like if you want to watch something that's just about bodybuilding, go to Muscular Development,
Yeah.
And you can watch bodybuilding all fucking day long.
Great.
That's not what this is
Or
about.
better yet, go start your own fucking podcast and you could talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right?
So anyway, I just want people to understand that this podcast is about more than just fucking eating and training, even though that's what brings us all together. There's more to it. And then the other thing I want to emphasize is we all have different opinions. Like me and Iain fucking argue more than me and Ben have to. It doesn't mean we're not friends. Like you can be friends and still respectfully disagree. Like Iain thinks you could suck a dick and be straight. And I'm like, if you suck a dick, it means you're gay. And
I actually had a guy message me on this one yesterday and said,
I'm sure you did.
what are you
Is that where all these memes are coming from? There's an account that says like,
why are
you so gay or something?
Oh wait, is that because of the podcast?
Yes, it's because
that guy messages me all the time. I thought he was.
Oh, by the way, I got to show you this.
I thought he's a troll. I don't ever respond to him.
No, he's great.
He's funny. So some guy messaged me. He's like, "Hey,
Photoshop is pretty good."
I want to send this message because I just listened to the podcast on the If It's Only Gay If You're Gay. He's like, I've worked in the prison system for 20 years. He's like, the amount of fucking dicks I've seen sucked and guys fuck each other in the ass that were like, man, I can't wait to get out of prison, fuck some pussy. Like, I'm straight. He's like, is literally every day.
Okay, but that's different. You're just so extreme in your examples. That's so different.
Extreme. You can't discard everything I say as an extreme example.
Okay, but I said
I can't discard
what I said to you.
Porn, I say guys in porn doing gay porn. You're like extreme.
No, I gave you that one.
Extreme.
No, I gave you that one. I said in certain scenarios I will agree with
like
you.
Jail.
But the guy who's doing gay porn could be doing straight porn.
Well, he could be, but there's more
so that means maybe he likes it, and that's why he's doing it.
If there's more money in putting dicks in your mouth and you do it, you're gay.
No, I'm not getting into this again. But
I just want to know what Evan thinks. Evan,
okay.
Do actions speak louder than words? So like,
Evan's gonna wait until Evan gives his philosophy.
If you suck a dick every weekend for a month, does it mean you're gay? Or if you say I'm not gay, but I'd still suck the dick,
why did the person suck it?
Thank you.
Well, what if whatever, it's just not for any reason, they just wanted to do it.
But there is a reason.
Well, if you want to do it, listen, if you do it for money, right?
Yeah, I gave him that one. I gave him the monetary one. I gave him the monetary.
This is proving my point. If you're doing it because you get sexually aroused from sucking dick, yes, you are gay. If you fantasize about sucking dick and you're
why would you suck a dick if you didn't get aroused?
Then you're probably, I mean, it depends. Like Evan said, it depends the intent. Why are you doing it then? Are you doing it because there's money? Are you doing it for, I don't know, to be fucking funny? Like if you're doing it because you're in jail and you're horny? I don't fucking know. But it doesn't necessarily make you gay.
Okay, let me ask you this, Evan. Let me ask you this question, really pointed, regardless of the intent. If a guy blows another guy and the guy getting blown comes, doesn't that mean he's gay?
No.
I kind of think yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't listen. If some dude was kneeling in front of me, newsflash, my dick is not going to get hard.
Probably not. No, but
it does
still get hard.
So you're saying not only does it get hard, it stays hard, and then you finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evan, bring me my other question.
You get a little conspicuous at this point, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're gay.
Hold on, I got a better one.
By the way, Fouad Abiad looks fucking crazy good.
Does he? Let me see if there's any
really
photos before we go on. Sorry, go ahead, guy. Sorry.
Evan, what's gayer? If
That's gayer. Can we stop at the gayness?
if a 5-minute long blowjob,
Oh fuck! This one's.
would you rather take the first 90 second, 90 and like 90, the first 90%, or the last 10%? Meaning, what is worse, sucking the dick for 4.5 minutes and the guy not coming, or taking the last 30 seconds to take it?
What if it takes them 9.5 minutes? That's even worse.
I'm just using 5 minutes as a fucking blanket statement.
Wait, I don't even know what's happening. Where am I in this? I'm in this.
You're
it was a question on the podcast not long ago. It was what was worse, the first 90% of a blowjob or the last 10%? Like, which is more gay?
You have to do it. You
have if you're sucking a dick, you have to do the first. Let's say the 5-minute blowjob, 4.5 minutes just sucking, or the last 30 seconds sucking and taking a load to the mouth.
I'm the sucker.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. This is really terrible.
Evan's not built. Evan's not built for these questions.
I probably would rather the first. I don't know what was it. 4 minutes. I probably would rather the 4 minutes.
Really?
That's what I said too.
I said the
don't know.
last 30 seconds.
Me too. I was there with Ian. I was like, give me the 30 seconds. I was like, give me 30 seconds and a protein shake. I'm calling it a day.
Ah, okay. Can we hear?
No, I don't want it.
I just want to show you.
I don't want it.
I want to show you guys this real quick.
Look at Evan's face.
Look at, they made Evan into Braveheart.
Hey, there I am.
This is Ian. I don't even know what this one is. This one's the best. This one's the best. Look at Evan. They made Evan into Ben Shapiro.
That's hilarious.
There it is again.
The Jose one was good.
Which one's the Jose one? This one? With his leaf blower?
Oh, the other one. The other one. Second row, left side. There you go.
That one was good too.
This is this me? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I got a Harley. That's James.
He didn't even need the Photoshop. James literally has a photo.
Look at, I told you I was the big spoon, Ian.
What? He switched it.
He switched it for me.
That's okay.
That's fucking funny. He made Evan into Trump. Yeah, that's a funny.
You follow
page.
this guy?
Yeah, I follow this guy. This one's my fucking favorite.
Yeah.
Why are you gay? Hold on. I got to follow this guy.
That one has sound.
I know. 1 second. I gotta reshare. Let me share the sound too.
What's it when you comment? It says when you come and she keeps sucking.
Yeah.
All right, listen. I gotta ask you.
That would be the last 30 seconds.
I gotta ask you guys a couple of questions. So, Samson Dowda was here this weekend, and we were talking about shit, and he was saying he was outdoorsy. So this whole time, I'm like, okay, Samson's outdoorsy. I'm thinking to myself, like, what do you guys consider outdoorsy? Like
Going on a hike.
Hiking and camping and mountain biking and like trail walking and
anything that has to do with being outside. Any activities outside.
well, no.
Hiking for
Playing
hiking
basketball with your buddies.
So if I go to the park with my dog, that makes me outdoorsy.
You're not outdoorsy now.
No, I mean like outdoor, like fishing, hiking, like camping, like outdoor shit.
So
There's got to be hiking. Hiking has to be in there.
100%.
We start talking, and I find out that he's never been camping before.
Well, but he goes hiking quite often, doesn't he?
Yeah, it was just a little bit of trickery. I'm like, I don't know if you're really outdoorsy if you've never been camping.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
There's
no, you
probably
gotta
a
be
lot of girls who are like pretty outdoorsy people who haven't been camping,
I know, but I was saying
hiking like every day.
I was saying I'd love to go like to a cottage somewhere up north and stay for like a weekend or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, me too. I'm like, well, wouldn't you just go camping because you're outdoorsy? He's like, I've never been camping. I'm like, well, you're not really outdoorsy if you've never been camping. But he does hike a lot in certain parks. So I'm like, I don't know.
I think if you hike a lot, that would be considered outdoorsy.
If I go walking in the woods with my dog, I don't know if that makes me outdoorsy.
If you do it often, I would say yeah.
It also depends. Are you doing like a 3-minute just like tour around and go back to your house, or are you going for like 3-4 hours and like packing a lunch?
All right, I'm gonna pack a lunch and go for a 3-hour walk. Then I can call myself outdoorsy.
If you do it consistently, I will call you outdoorsy.
I don't think.
What if I fill up my cooler and go outside and cut my lawn for 2 hours and do yard work? Is that outdoorsy?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's
no,
not.
I mean that's being out. That's outside, but that's not outdoorsy. That's just cutting your fucking grass.
So it's outside but not outdoors.
No. You're outside, but just because you're outside cutting grass doesn't make you outdoorsy. It means you're doing chores.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Like taking your garbage out doesn't make you a garbage man.
So
how's that, Evan? You like that one?
Was good. That was good.
So I'll give you so then we argued about that for a little while. And then, so you guys agree then if you go hiking with your dog for a little while every weekend, you're outdoorsy.
I would say so.
I wouldn't. Yeah, like you're not.
I think it means you appreciate like nature and being outdoors.
I think guys outdoors. Goes hunting.
So is Evan.
Yeah.
Evan's outdoors.
Consider both those guys outdoorsy for sure.
I think if you hunt or camp or
I mean, I've hunted and camped out. I mean, you can't get any more fucking rednecker
To
out
me,
there.
But then I hunt too, like consistently, and I'm definitely not like I wouldn't consider myself as outdoorsy as like I would never go hiking in a million years, you know.
Yeah, but you're a hunter too. It's
Yeah.
Speaking
The only
of
hiking I'm
hunting,
doing, the only
I
hiking
hunt
I'm
and
doing
fish.
is
I consider hunting, fishing, hiking, and camping the most outdoorsy things you can do.
so what you're saying is there's degrees of outdoorsy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like climbing Mount Everest is like at the top of that, you know, or like K2, and then it kind of trickles down, you know.
So Samson's level 1 outdoorsy. It's like hiking in a
like
park.
level 1.5, yeah.
Okay.
James climbed like Mount Kilimanjaro or something crazy.
Yeah, he did Kilimanjaro, yeah.
Yeah. But he doesn't go outside anymore. So how long does the outdoorsy card last?
That
It
gets like
expires.
3 years.
Like three years, and then
Like here, I'm going on Thursday. I'm going up to the Adirondacks fishing in the Sable River Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and staying at a cabin.
For sure.
that sounds like fun.
Me, my pops, and a couple of guys.
I'm coming.
That's cool.
We fish and we cook and we eat the fish at night. That's what we do all day.
with you. I'm coming with you.
Great.
That's dope.
Next this week,
Yeah.
it's upstate New York. It's not a far drive. Come show up.
I can't. I gotta.
It's 4.5 hours from me.
I'm at Subs Wisconsin this weekend, but I want to. We should do.
What,
that.
at a Harley Davidson convention now?
He's flying to Vegas to go to a motorcycle.
No, you asshole. It's a supplement store, and we're making an appearance for Hostile. I do own a company.
Are you going to start making fucking hostile cuts?
We're gonna make Hostile chaps and leather.
No, so isn't it called a cut?
Yeah, and we're gonna do helmets and everything.
You're
Yeah.
such a fool.
Oh, this was actually before Evan. I know you want to talk about the hunt. Actually, no, let's talk about that first. What were you gonna say?
You mentioned outdoors, like in hunting, so I kind of, thought of Seth.
Yeah, what did you guys think of Seth's? I think we're all gonna agree, but what did you think of Seth's post?
With the bear?
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
bear paw.
Yeah, I did that with a deer and I got fucking crucified. So
But I don't get it. I mean, obviously, if you just killed an animal and you toss it in the ditch, that's really
you're
stupid.
an asshole.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. Especially, obviously, if something's endangered. That's obviously you would never do that.
Yeah.
But if you're hunting an animal and you're going to make use of it, and obviously, if you like did something to torture the animal first, that would be terrible. But you shoot the animal and you do your thing and you consume it. It doesn't go to waste. I don't see the problem. I mean, all these people, who are bitching at him and, go to the store and buy a steak.
Yeah, see, that's the issue.
To me, those are really sheltered people. They just don't understand where their food comes from.
Yeah, like, look, if you're a vegan and you want to beef this, then okay. Like, sure, at least you're consistent with your values. But if you're going to go and buy fucking,
Steaks and burgers
fucking beef from Publix, and then get mad at someone for hunting, which is way more humane, and you're giving them a fucking chance, at least, you're just fucking out to lunch.
if people actually realize that the way meat is processed in a slaughterhouse
it's fucking brutal.
And hunting an animal and actually hunting it and shooting it, one time and killing it, it's a lot more humane than hanging a cow and slitting its throat and letting it bleed to death.
I think we all feel the same way. If you're
I
hunting,
mean, I also think people don't realize that hunters are mainly, a lot of them are in a sense conservationists. And I mean, and hunting tags are given out based off of the population of the animal and in the area and stuff like that. It's not just like go kill as many fucking deer as you want. Like
That's why I posted a video last week when I was driving to Wawa. There was a fawn in the middle of the road, and it looked like I thought I got hit by a car, and it was there with the mother, and it wasn't moving. So I was there for 15 minutes. People people don't just think because I'm a hunter and I hunt, deer and pheasant and turkey, that I don't care about animals. I was with that deer for 15 minutes. I helped it to the side of the road, made sure it got back with his mother. Like, that's what real hunters do. Like, I don't, because I hunt and I kill my food, doesn't mean I ever want to see an animal
and that's
suffer,
the main
ever.
That's the main point you just said. It's your food.
Yes.
And that's why I think
hunters are animal lovers.
The deer that I kill, on my, anything that I kill, my dad owns a deer processing, he's a butcher. So in my parents' 2-car garage, we butcher deer all year for people that go hunt. They, kill the deer, we process it, and they feed their family with all that meat.
Yeah. And that's my point. It's like, and that's what Branch told me too. Even when they go hog hunting in Texas, Branch is like, I don't really like the meat.
No, they give it to the churches.
They take it. He said he takes it to Metroflex, and Brian Dobson will cut it all up and they feed the homeless.
The church. They give it to the church.
Or the church,
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, if you're eating the animal, what I don't understand, Guy, though, is, and I'm not flaming you at all. I just don't understand it.
Go ahead.
What is it with the head? I don't know if I could put the heads on the wall.
Like this?
Yeah. I don't know if I can do that. It might
No, you do it with like so these bucks here.
Yeah.
Like that buck was the one was my first buck. I'm sorry, my second buck from Texas. This was my biggest buck I ever shot, which I shot in Texas. And then this buck was the first buck that I killed in PA with my dad. So I don't have every deer that I killed.
So they're the sentimental ones.
The sentimental ones are the ones like, people say, oh, there are hunters, which I disagree with, that are called trophy hunters that just go out and want to shoot the biggest buck. Now, listen, when anybody hunts, you want to go out and, kill the biggest animal, like the biggest buck. Like that's the goal, is to like, you don't just, it's not called killing. I could go in a tree stand and shoot a deer every fucking day. That's easy. But hunting one animal, or like trying to figure out an animal's route or where it's going to get that one specific animal, that takes time. It takes patience. And when you do it, and it's almost like winning a bodybuilding show, like that's like the head on my chimney or my fireplace. That's my like trophy for that time. And it's like a memory of who I was with, what I killed. So it's not every deer.
Can I ask you a specific question? Because Lee Priest said something in the Telegram chat that I thought I never considered. Even if you're eating the animal.
Yep.
He said, even if you're eating the animal, some hunters just want to hunt. Like they want to kill an animal, but out of respect, they still eat the animal. So is there an element of, I want to know what it feels like to kill an animal, or is it more like respectful than that?
Well,
for me, it's way more respectful than that. Like before I even before I pull the trigger on an animal, it's not as easy as people think, because you get the excitement and like the adrenaline, like you start shaking, your heart rate goes up, you're breathing heavy, like because you're about to kill something. So there's like an element of like nerves that come into play too, which makes it very hard just to pull a trigger on an animal. Is it exciting? Yes. Am I somebody who's in a tree stand because I'm like, I want to kill something? No, I don't feel like somebody that just wants to kill should be a hunter. That's not what hunting is. That's called killing.
Yeah.
And there is something too to consider, and I think Chris said it on Telegram. Hunting is a very fundamental thing to know how to do. I mean, the ability to hunt and to provide for yourself and to feed yourself and or your family is a really innate necessity. And it's something that we probably should all know how to do. Now, I don't hunt. I never been hunting. I wish that I, said that it's something I were more comfortable with and familiar with. But, I don't know. I think people a lot of times are very out of touch with really just being human. And the reality is too, when an animal I don't know, say you're a vegan, you say, well, it's bad to eat another animal, and the whole thing is inhumane, and so on and so forth. If all the animals were released tomorrow, you took all the cows and everything and you released them into nature, how do you think they would meet their end? I mean,
by another animal.
They wouldn't die of old age. They'd have their fucking throats ripped out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and also this, like, people have to think, like, in terms of deer population, think of how overpopulated deer are, for one. And if you stopped controlling them through hunting, you literally, and think of how many people die from hitting deers on the roads already. And that's with population limitation by hunting. If you just let this run rampant, your fucking highways would have dead deer left, right, and center,
There's dead deer all over the place by me.
All over
Evan,
the place.
Do you ever, I know you got to go, so you can take off kind of whenever you need to, but one more question.
What time you got?
It's 1:27.
Okay.
Do you ever want to hunt? Do you ever consider that something you try to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something I should know how to do. We're always in this perpetual state of relying on someone else, right? Whether it's the grocery stores, we always think, oh, well, we'll be fine. The government will never let that happen. And at the end of the day, if something did go wrong or shit did hit the fan, it's not like you can call up the government or whoever and go, well, hey, this wasn't supposed to happen. That doesn't do you any good. You do have to have the means or the ability to rely on yourself as much as possible. And these are all things that I think we should know just as human beings, how to fix certain things, how to provide for ourselves, how to do some really basic fundamental things. And hunting is one of them. as is
Yeah.
fishing. And, there's a lot of things that we don't know how to do because we don't have to. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't know how to do it.
I'm really bad at that. If like shit hit the fan tomorrow, I just go to a guy's house. Like, I don't know how to build anything. I can't fucking hunt. Like, I definitely just rely on the world as it works, which is kind of dangerous, right? Because
we all do. We all
Yeah.
do to an extent, of course.
yeah. Well, Guy doesn't. Guy has a freezer full of meat he killed himself. So,
And a fucking safe full of ammo and guns.
Evan, you got to take off, or are you good for a bit?
Yeah, I apologize, guys. I wish I could stay later. I
No,
gotta
it's
go
okay.
catch my daughter's dance recital.
How fun is that?
That's
for you?
awesome.
Is that fun?
It's been a couple of years. There was one a few years ago, and honestly, the kid can dance. She's really, really good. So it's cool to watch. Not to sound like a dick, but I don't want to watch anybody else's kid. So I don't want to sit there, and wait. I wish I could just kind of show up when she's about to be on. Like,
I
all
love
right,
you.
awesome. Let's go get some dinner.
I love the honesty. What kind of dancing is it? Like, is she a ballerina or what is it?
No, actually, hip hop dancing.
Really?
That's awesome.
The kid has just this crazy rhythm.
How old is she?
She can just dance to, like, it's weird. Like, you could put on any different genre of music and she'll just dance appropriately to it.
Nice.
Just not having any idea, having never seen it before, she could just do it. It's really, really bizarre.
How old is she?
She's 10.
Do you dance with her?
Fuck no.
You should make her.
When no one's watching, you don't dance with her.
This dude does not dance.
You should have her help you with your next poser routine.
You're right, I should. And you know what it is? Like, dance is not something I feel compelled to do. Like, it's not like a tune comes on and I go, oh my God, I can't.
Evan's the guy that hates pose. Evan, don't you hate poser routine?
I can't control myself.
Is that how it would start? Your shoulder would just start moving?
Yeah, I start like twitching.
If like a song comes on, will you sing it or whistle it?
I'm like, oh my God.
You don't bob
I can't stop it.
you don't bob your head like to music. You don't ever feel the need.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, if something really good could come on in my car and I'm like, turn that shit up, drive a little faster.
Will you ever
I'm
sing
not
along
like-
to music?
I'm sorry.
Will you ever sing along to music?
Do what to music?
Sing along.
Sing to music.
You
don't dance, but maybe you sing.
Little bit, maybe a little sing along.
I see Evan singing to like Frank Sinatra in his car. It's just what
Evan's the guy that like despises poser routines. I'll never
know
forget.
I hate poser
He used to complain about poser routines. I don't know why we have to fucking do this, choreograph this fucking shit to music. It doesn't make any.
But I remember he did once.
Listen to me,
motherfuckers.
motherfucker. What guy?
Here we go. Look, he's going. I got him going. Look,
This is gonna totally hit me in the heart because I like posing.
Here he goes.
What guy was like? I mean, listen, we're already on stage in our underwear, right? But what guy's like? You know what would make this even better? If we choreograph something to music.
I've never.
It's so you can display your physique in the best way possible.
No, that's not what it's become, though. It's become about people performing artsy fartsy fucking routines and showing how good you can fucking dance. Like, I mean,
there is some of that.
Won Best Poser Awards doing the fucking worm and spitting on his head. You know,
there is some of that. I'll give you that. But there is also great routines like Dennis Wolf.
Definitely.
And,
I was just gonna say Dennis Wolf.
Yeah.
No, totally. When it's well done, it's really classic. It is impressive. You know what it is? I think ultimately, and I'm just joking around. I'm not fucking on anybody else. I'm just not much of a showman, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, for me, it's not for me.
Well, you're more of the norm anyway. There's not many bodybuilders that love doing a routine. But you did do it once. I remember a turn the page routine. That was pretty good.
I tried. You know, I put some effort into that.
You got down kneeling on one knee, doing the twisting shit. I saw that.
Thank you.
All right, Evan. We'll let you take off, man. We'll catch up again some other time.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. It was great talking.
We'll see you on Telegram.
See you, man.
See you on Telegram.
All right, guy.
All right,
see you later, man.
See you guys.
Bye. All right, boys. It's just the three of us.
Bye.
What are we going to talk about now?
Toronto Pro Fitness just finished pre-judge.
Right, tell us what happened, Ian.
Siobhan looks like a pretty clear winner.
I don't see any photos.
Theo looks second. Andrea Muzzi looks third.
Theo second, eh?
It
Wow.
appears to be to me. And then Dorian Haywood is fourth, but they kept him. Well, they might have Mootsie in second, but yeah, it's close between Mootsie and Theo. Yeah.
What about Joe Seaman? Where did he end up?
He looked quite bad.
Why is he off?
Yeah, he's off. He was quite distended with pretty poor abdominal control. His conditioning wasn't that great, and his tan looked a little funky.
You know what I feel like when I see that happen? Because he usually, like, leading up, you see photos and his abdominal control looks okay. I wonder if they tried to carb load too hard.
I think I don't know who's been doing his preps lately. He was working with Patrick a while ago, and then I feel like he's just been doing his own thing. And I like Joe. He's from Ottawa, and I obviously don't ever want to, like, shit on like a hometown boy, but I think he needs to get better coaching or back to coaching, to getting someone to kind of lead the charge, because since he's been working on his own, or whoever he has been working with, it's clearly not working out. And I really like Joe, and I'd like to see him do better.
Yeah, that's too bad, because I honestly think with his physique at its best, he should have been second place.
Yeah, I mean, he has more muscle than almost everybody in that lineup.
Yeah, he
has displayed in the past he can get in good condition. He's got crazy legs. He's got a good back. Yeah. I mean, if he learned to control that midsection like Nick Walker does with a, not the most aesthetically pleasing midsection, you can make it an attribute,
I feel bad for the Canadian promoters, man. I think the show was as bad as it was because of the vaccine passports.
Yeah.
Because I think
honestly, and this sounds kind of rude, but I mean, watching Toronto Pro today made me hesitant about doing Vancouver.
Why? You don't want to go and beat nobody?
I don't want to go to a show and be like, like it just be me and nobody else,
Yeah, well, that you have a serious potential for that, because I think a lot of Americans aren't coming because of the vaccine passport.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, a lot of those people are European, because a lot of them probably have a vaccine passport from being in Europe.
Yeah, it's making me hesitant about it. I might change to something right around the same time.
Orlando.
It's too soon, man. That's in like 4 weeks.
You're fucking ready. Don't worry about it.
I could be ready in 4 weeks, but I want to be at my best, not so-so.
Well, what would if you didn't do Vancouver, what would be after that? Texas?
There's Texas, there's Chicago, there's Tampa. There's still like fucking 10 shows, man.
Yeah. I saw Milos put a thing up about guys competing and how nobody's competing enough. How do you feel about that, Ian? I can't speak on this because I don't compete anymore.
It's tough to say, because with the social media era now, it makes it tough, because back in their day, in the day of Milos, these guys would do 10, 15, whatever shows a year, but they would show up pretty mediocre to subpar at most of those, other than the big shows.
And the Olympia and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like they're doing the European tour. They would look 6 weeks out, and like, but then you go to like the Night of Champions or the Arnold or the Olympia, you reel it in. Nowadays, if you show up at any show and just do it like for that, it's not accepted.
No.
If I go to say Vancouver, this sounds arrogant, but I know, honestly, probably without a shadow of a doubt, I will win Vancouver.
Sure.
I'm 100% confident that I will win Vancouver. I could probably show up at 85% and probably still win Vancouver. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it and then go do another show and just do that so I can stay fresh for the Olympia. I don't know why. I just don't operate that way. And I think it was a different dynamic then in terms of competing, and that's how you made more of your money, versus now there's obviously a lot more opportunity for endorsements with social media and these kind of things. So I think more guys are less inclined to compete often because it's expensive to compete, and they're more inclined to stay and do their social media obligations and get contracts and make money and do the shows that are more important to them.
Yeah, that's a really valuable point. I didn't even think of that.
I love to compete. I mean, I don't like, I'm like Evan, I don't like doing posing routines, but I like being in the battle. I like getting up there, like, Texas with Kuklo and Klahar last year was super fun, or, with Nick and Kuklo and Justin at the Arnold. Like, these are some of the best memories in competing I have, where they're like tight, hard battles. And the more of those I can do, the better. And if I could do every show, I absolutely would. But this is where the crux is. Other guys are not doing every show. So they're now at the Olympia will have an advantage over me and being more fresh. So for me to even the playing field, I have to compete less to be able to be more competitive at the shows that matter. So it's like, even if I don't want to, even if I want to compete in more shows, it's disadvantageous to me because I'm, you know what I mean?
So it's a really good point. I didn't consider the fact that you really weren't seen. So if you showed up off, it didn't really matter.
No, because everyone was like that. I mean, look at, you see some shots of like, Chris Cormier or Flex or Milos. I mean, Milos was usually in pretty good condition, but a lot of these guys, I mean,
they could get away with it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they would show up at these, European tour shows or the smaller tier shows when they would do 4, 5, 6 of them in a row. and they would kind of come in at 70, 75%. They would look, you know, good and good lines in their quads, nice abs, but the glutes would be not in. You know, there'd be some, you know, lower back water and fat and things like that. Like you do that now, especially if you do that as a top 10 Olympia guy, you're going to get fucking ripped to shreds online. And like, I would say that I don't let social media dictate my actions, but in a career that is very much dictated, your worth is dictated by your fans. Exactly. You know, how much I'm worth is dictated by where I'm placing in shows and how much my following and my ability to sell really is. Well, and if my fans start being like, fuck this guy, well, that's going to impact my life more than that.
It's not wrong to say that you want to present a certain package because your fans expect it.
Yeah.
Right. So there's nothing wrong with saying that. And it's funny because people say, well, back in the 90s, they were more shredded. And I'm like, maybe the videos or the pictures you're seeing because they're from the biggest shows, like you said.
They're from the Olympia and the Arnold.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do agree with you in some of the.
But if you take a yearly average of conditioning, nowadays it is far superior.
Well, because
I won't disagree that at the utmost level, the top 6, the top 8 at the Olympia, the conditioning back in the 90s and early 2000s, well, maybe not early 2000s, but in the 90s was exceptional.
Yeah.
And I still think it is in a lot of ways today, but I think if you average it as a whole today, it is definitely, but this is the thing. If you show up at mediocre at shows and they're, you know, MDs putting up pictures, Sulos and bodybuilders without borders, and they post all the pictures and I win a show looking like shit, even though I'm the best in the show, a million people are going to say,
you're still
I don't care about conditioning anymore. Oh, he's going to get fucking killed at the Olympia. It's like, well, maybe you don't know what my plan was, but it's just kind of the way it is. And I get it. You know?
You're under a microscope all the time now.
100%.
Where you weren't before. So yeah, that's a very good point.
But no, I mean, look, I agree with Milos. I don't think guys compete enough, but there's multiple sides to this because you can look at it like, okay, we could all start competing more and maybe do a little less drugs and use a little bit less diuretics, you know, and show up, you know, 75% and do more shows, or we could show up less often, you know, be a little better. You know, it's like, there's two sides to this. Like, I would like to compete at every show. I mean, I would love to do that, but I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea for longevity, if it's the best idea for my career, my Olympia competitiveness. So it's like, it's tough to weigh the checks and balances of that, you know?
Let me ask you a specific question. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to, but just imagine it could happen. What would happen if the IFBB said everybody has to compete a minimum of 3 times, and that doesn't include the Olympia?
I mean, I think you would get a lot more fan viewership for sure. I mean, if you have someone like Ramy, like guys, let's say you're including the top 5 in there.
Let's say the only person who has
is the winner.
Yeah, the winner gets to.
Yeah, I mean, look,
even the winner. Let's say even the winner has to do 2.
Well, let's say the winner has to do just the Olympia, but everyone else other than that. I mean, how many people would love to see Nick and Hunter compete 2 more times, 3 more times this year? Everyone. There's literally no person that would say no to that. None. If you're a bodybuilder fan, you want to see these guys compete. But like I said, then they're ruining their chances of a more competitive package at the Olympia. So I do agree that I think it would be a good thing in some ways for the popularity of the sport. But then will it just add to maybe the amount of guys that are having health issues? Will it
I was going to say it might be a health problem too.
Yeah. Will it, you know, are guys now going to be doing 5 shows a year that, you know, maybe there are guys that are already abusing drugs and abusing diuretics, and now instead of doing it once a year, they're doing it 4, 5, 6 times a year.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's hard to weigh those for sure. You know,
Guy, what do you think about that? There's no way, because I don't want to contradict myself, because in some podcasts we say health is the most important thing. We want to be careful, and now we're saying, and I'm not saying they should. I'm just asking a question. If the IFBB said you have to do minimum of 3 shows, not including the Olympia, how detrimental would that be to the sport? Health-wise, it might be dangerous health-wise.
Okay, let's take the health out of it. It's only positive for the sport, 100%.
So I want to see what Guy thinks. Just maybe take the health out of it, and just, could the guys actually do it? Would everybody be able to do it and still, like, could Nick compete 3 times and still make enough progress to beat Ramy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Do you have any more to add?
I was thinking, like, as an athlete, when I first started, did I progress? And I competed a lot. And I mean, like, yeah, I did. I competed. There's times I competed 6 times a year, and I made improvements. I gained weight. I gained stage weight. I looked better. I improved. I mean, I wasn't one of the, but you could also make the argument that I wasn't also one of, I wasn't the best in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think for the athlete, is it more challenging? Yes.
Well, I mean, you can ask it this way. Like Nick didn't do the Arnold this year. Would he be as good as he is right now if he did do the Arnold?
I think so.
Because he's made a lot of progress, right? But
Yeah.
he didn't have to compete. He didn't have to diet for three months.
Yeah.
So did that time he had make him as good as he is now? And if you said to somebody like Nick or Hunter or Ian, you got to compete 3 times, are they going to be able to catch the guy at the very top when he doesn't have to do anything?
Well,
I think-
it might end up, but what
Does the guy at the top also have to compete?
No, we already decided. Me and
that's
Ian were
number one.
saying,
But this, I think, what would end up happening in this case is you would get the top guys, like top 6, top 5 guys, would only do 2 or 3 shows that are immediately
beginning.
before the Olympia.
yeah.
Or they would die, or right after.
Or at the beginning, and then they'd have the time off.
Yeah, so they die down for the Olympia. They would do the 3 right after, which is for the next year's Olympia, 3 mandatory, and they would do it that
So
way.
you wouldn't really be solving anything.
You wouldn't change a whole lot. No, it would be like Phil and Jay and these guys going to do the Shier Classic. You know what I mean? It would be very
You wouldn't really solve much because there's all those
No,
shows.
look, it would, and the guys that are B tier guys are generally doing multiple shows a year anyways because they can't win shows to qualify either way. So you're gonna get these guys. The top guys will do shows probably in a condensed period, where the other guys will probably continue doing what they're doing.
I think the only rule I would make, and this one I don't know if it would affect health because there's enough of a gap. The only rule I would make is you have to compete one other time other than the Olympia, even if you're in the top 5. Even if you're
say that's fair.
If you're Mr. Olympia.
I would agree with that. I wouldn't be opposed to that in any way, even if I was a top 5 guy. So like, look, it's easy to say. People can be like, well, it's easy for you to say you have to qualify every year. But it's like, yeah, but even if I didn't, I would probably still choose to compete, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. Olympia should. I think winning the Olympia should give you some sort of fucking like edge over everybody. And I don't think the Mr. Olympia should have.
I think it would make the sport more interesting though.
It would.
The one time Ronnie lost or
Gunter
should have lost. No, not Gunter. Is when Jay kind of beat him in 2001. And a lot of people think it's because Ronnie did the Arnold in 2001 and he had to peak twice. And he wasn't as good at the Olympia because he had peaked at the Arnold earlier in the year. So I think everybody should have to do 2 shows, even Mr. Olympia, because that makes the level playing field and people can.
Yeah, I mean, and look, there's a level to this too, because I don't think doing 2 shows in a year, if you time them properly, is necessarily a detriment to your look. I think I'm generally my best.
Yeah, you have enough space.
Yeah, I think, look, if I Tampa was my first show of the year, I was not my best. Then Texas and the Arnold, I was my best. And the Arnold or the Olympia, I was not quite at my best. I was still very good, but not at my 100% best. I'm probably 92.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that doing 1 show more than the Olympia, if you time it properly and you're smart about it, I think it can be an asset, not necessarily a detriment.
So let me ask you this then, and then we do have to consider health. If you made a rule and said to every single athlete has to compete twice, and there has to be 6 months in between contests,
then you're making it a little risky and complicated, yeah.
Because now they have to peak 2 times.
Well, because think of it, then you're basically stringing off seasons to prep to off season.
No, because I'm thinking like if the Olympia counts as 1. And
so say you're doing the Olympia and then you're doing a show in June, which is kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be bad, I guess, because then you have after the Olympia, you have like 3 or 4
break,
kind of chill, and you can start your prep for the other, and then after your show in June, you can chill for a month and then start back in prep.
The reason
I think that's good.
The reason I'm saying that is because it would prevent people from doing like the Olympia and the Shier and then being like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't see them for the whole year.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't think it's just the competition. I think people like watching people get ready for the show.
I agree.
They like the updates.
Here, that's huge now.
Yeah. So it's like if you had somebody getting ready for the Olympia, that's 3 months out of the year you get to watch that guy. And then you had him getting ready for something in June. That's another 3 months you had. So it's like constant content for the people watching.
I agree.
So, I mean, that would be a rule they could implement that I don't think would affect health too much.
No.
And would make the sport more interesting, especially if Mr. Olympia had to do that as well.
Yeah.
Because I think the fact that the top 5 don't have to compete takes away from the sport. Because
I do agree there. Yeah.
Number one, it allows those top 5 to stay ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
Because they have a whole year to do this.
That's
so then
just getting better. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you don't have the mix of like people, you have more dynasty shit and you don't have the mix of people catching up.
Yeah.
And then the second factor is you don't see them for a whole year.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you do that to your product? You have a product that people like watching, but you're
and look, also from my perspective too, I mean, I don't want to sound like a fucking Debbie Downer here or anything, but I try and look at things quite realistically. I think you guys know I'm a realist. I don't think I will likely ever win Olympia. So, I mean, for me, collecting accolades in bodybuilding is important to me,
Yeah.
and my accolades are not going to be Olympia wins. So I want them to be show titles. And if I could, win 10, 15 shows, that is something that I can retire and I can show my kids and I can have those trophies and I can, that's the accolades that I can leave bodybuilding with. And I think if a lot of guys competed more instead of coming fourth at the Olympia every year, they racked up some accolades like someone like Dexter or Milos.
It's like Kevin Levroni's a good example of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys like this, or Dexter, because he won fucking 30 shows. I mean, these are big accolades to have,
Yeah. I mean, what does the record go? It goes like Dexter, then Kevin.
Yeah.
Dexter won 30 and I think Kevin won 25 to 30 or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was
a goal that I've always had is I would like to win 10 shows,
Oh,
That's what I wanted to do.
You should be able to win more than that, man. You're 31.
Well, I don't plan to compete till I'm 40, but I would like to win, say if I do 1 or 2 more shows this year, that brings me to 6. I think in the next 3 years.
When do you want to retire? Like 35?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's tough to say, man. I mean, like I have this conversation with Melissa a lot and, obviously with how things have kind of been, in the world of bodybuilding right now, and I'm a very anxious person to begin with, it's kind of given me some sleepless nights. And, even if I'm going like, and, after that stuff was happening, I went and got a cardiac CT and got my, calcium score. I went and got an echo. I got an EKG. I got, a heart monitor, like all these kind of things, and make sure that everything was good. So at least to try and give myself some peace of mind. But we all know it's not quite that simple, like you can have all the best tests in the world and, you can still drop dead of a heart attack. So there's always that looming kind of fear that I don't know if I'm mentally strong enough to do live with that kind of looming fear for a lot longer,
Mm-hmm.
So, look, there's some things I still feel I need to accomplish in bodybuilding. And then as I get closer to those, I'll kind of make the decision. But yeah, I mean, I think I got like 2 to 5 years left, Can
I ask you guys a question?
You have my heart monitor. Don't forget it.
I'm sorry?
You have my heart monitor. Don't forget it.
I do. Oh yeah, I do. That's right. I'm going to wear it. I want to ask you guys a separate question though. Do you think it's bodybuilding that you were fascinated by, or do you think it's competition that you're fascinated by?
Bodybuilding as far as what?
Well, listen, I used to play football, right? You used to play football, guy. You understand this. So you love football because you love football, but you also love football because you have a competitive nature.
Yes.
So when football ended, you turned to bodybuilding.
Yes.
And then bodybuilding became your thing because you liked it, but you also liked
an itch to scratch.
You like the competitive nature of it, right? You needed something to compete in.
Yes.
So how much of what we do, and the reason I'm asking this, just to underline the issue, now that I'm doing this running thing, I almost feel the competitiveness of it is drawing me to it more. I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to fucking get good at this.
Yep.
So now I'm wondering, I'm like, did I love bodybuilding? Well, I mean, I did love bodybuilding, but do I love competing? Like, is that the thing that we really love the most?
I think for me, I'm kind of in the middle. I think, and I know the answer to this because I feel the same way about it that I felt when I ran track and field. And it's not the competition. It's the self competition and self betterment where it's not even necessarily me competing against XYZ. It's me competing about myself. And, when I would run track, when I would go to the track and like, I just felt like I felt great and I'm running better times than the last week. And you can feel the progression. You can feel your starts are getting better. You can feel, your speed endurance is getting better in your 200 or, things like this, when you can feel that progress and feel a good run and like these things, it's one of the most gratifying feelings. So you go to the gym and you lift a PR or deadlift more than you've done before, or see the changes in your physique. And you're like, man, like I worked hard for this. That is what drives me, is the self competition and wanting to like see how much I can do with, if I like put my nose to the grindstone and do things 100%, how good can I be at something? That's what drives me more about than like, oh, can I beat Justin Rodriguez, And
that's
so the reason
sorry,
why,
go ahead, guy.
The reason why I'm going to start running is totally different. So I loved working out, which parlayed over into bodybuilding, right? I actually hate running.
Yeah.
I was never a runner.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's something I'm not good at. So I'm like, that's going to be the hardest competition for me because it's actually something I'm not good at. I actually don't like to do.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to force myself to get good at something I actually just don't like. And that's a harder competition because I don't really give a fuck about running.
See, this is the thing. Because of your self-competition that's innate in you as an athlete and a competitor, even if it's not competition against other people, you're going to get on that treadmill. You're going to run 5K. It's going to take you an hour.
Yeah.
You're going to go the next week. You're like, I'm going to do this in 55 minutes. And then you're going to get 55 minutes. You're going to be like, okay, next week, I want to get this down to 52 minutes. And then you're going to go and you're going to go and you're going to go like, okay, now I get to 30 minutes. It's a year later. I'm at 30 minutes. Okay, now let's do, let's try and do this. Let's run farther now. Let's try for 10K. We'll start and we'll work our way down, So
can I just, okay. So
does that make sense? What I said?
It makes 100%. I hate running and I'm like scared of it.
100%.
That's why I'm doing it. So this is the thing. This is what trips me out right now. So all through my bodybuilding career, I would say we're not just building bodies, we're building character. And I would say the beauty of bodybuilding is mastering your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I believe that now more than ever, because I'm looking back and I'm going, I love training, but did I love training because of it was so shitty. Like it was so hard to do. And I'm like, did I want to master the fact did I want to just be able to say I could do it no matter what? I could suffer through a diet. I could suffer through the training. I'd suffer through.
I love being able to say I did things that most people couldn't.
But that's my point. So now when it comes to the running thing, I'm like, this really sucks. It's shit. It's hard. It hurts my fucking ankles. It hurts my fucking knees. I'm out of breath, like fucking really quick. But I'm almost like, it's like Ian said, I'm like, oh, this sucks really bad. It makes me actually want to do it more.
Yeah. You want to be better. You're like, I got to be better at this. I will be better than this.
I watch like
it sucks so bad because you want to be able to do it and say it doesn't suck that bad.
But it's always going to suck bad, but you're going to
suck. Like bodybuilding always sucked. It was never easy to do a diet.
But you still wanted to do it.
But I wanted to be able
to self-induced torture.
You want to be better. You want to improve. You want to be
that's
better.
It, guy. Is that what we love about bodybuilding?
Self-induced
torture that other people can't go through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How many people can put themselves individually, voluntarily through fucking 16 weeks of it's absolute fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's hell.
Yeah.
How many people do I know when they were amateurs did keto diet when I was working with Palumbo, worked a fucking full-time job doing mortgages, was doing 75 minutes of cardio twice a day, plus fucking working out, dropped 40 pounds and turned pro at 176. I bet less than 1% of the population could do that.
Yeah, but the fucking awesome, the best part about that is when you're done, you're like,
I fucking did it.
Yeah, nobody else can do that shit.
But you know, it's crazy.
Or very few people.
Is that I look back now at where, like, at the end of my career, or like, and I'm like, could I do that now? Like, that was crazy.
No.
I'm like 75 minutes of cardio twice a day, plus working out and a 40-hour.
No, you could.
Like, how did I do that?
I'll answer that for you. So you 100% could.
Yeah.
If it mattered to you.
Yes.
At that time, nothing mattered to you except proving to yourself that you could do it. After you do it, it kind of loses its luster because you're like, okay, I mastered that. You use something for 20 fucking years. You're like, okay, I mastered that. And I think that's why the running thing is attractive to me now. It's like, okay, I can't do this for shit. Like today I ran 3 miles and it was like I was like patting myself on the back.
Outside or on the treadmill?
No, I'm still on the treadmill. I'm trying to get it's not because I don't want to run outside.
It's harder.
I'm trying to get my fucking heart rate. I'm just trying to get my lungs used to it, right?
Yeah. No, I think you're doing the right thing. I think having a controlled pace from a treadmill where the pace is controlled and it's causing you to get the heart rate up and enforcing effort. I think for a beginning runner is better. I will agree.
Well, I also think it's.
Did you start running straight or were you doing intervals? Because I'm going to start tomorrow.
No, I literally started doing 2 minutes on, 1 minute off.
That's what I was going to do.
And then I was doing like, I was doing like 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off, and then eventually it became just a straight 3 miles. But
yeah,
you can do 3 miles straight now.
Today I did 3 miles straight with a 2-minute walk after 2 miles.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so it's like it's getting better. But the other reason for the treadmill is I'm trying to get the impact off my knees and my ankles.
Yeah.
Because I know when I run outside, it's going to be even harder, right? I'm 200. I was hoping to be able to lose some fucking weight. Then I can go outside and start running outside when I'm a little bit lighter. But I can't stop training because I love training. And I think training is keeping the weight on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and maybe eating pizza isn't helping either.
No, it's good. I mean, look, I think for overall health, I think to still incorporate some weight training in there is going to be good for you, and to pair that with some good cardio. Look, it's going to take longer to get the weight off, but I don't see that as necessarily a bad thing as long as you're,
I'm never going to stop training. I love training. Like I have to.
No, I think for, one, mental health, and two, for, physical health, I think there's a lot more benefits than just being big and strong,
Yeah. No, that's never going to stop. It's just, I'm going to have to figure out how to run and do it at the same time. I don't know if it's possible. I feel like I can make it possible, but that's part of the challenge.
This is totally random. Just popped in my head because I've never seen it before. So I had people competing in the show yesterday. And one of my best friends, Bobby, was competing in the show. And Dom Cardone does his diet. But like his last show last week, and I helped him the last 48 hours because I've helped him before, and he likes my eye. So I was going back and forth with Dom of what I think he should do. So I actually saved him last weekend, big time, by a judgment call that I made. And Dom was like, dude, thank God, that was great, blah, blah, blah. So this weekend, I've never done this before, and it was the most logical thing I've done. So him and Allie were competing at a show. And at the show, Bobby helps Allie, and Bobby works with Dom Cardone. So Bobby wanted my help with the last stuff with him and Allie. So I was looking over everything. I was doing their food. I was doing their water, diuretics, the whole night. So after prejudging, they went to having burger and fries. So they came back, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, something's fucking, like, you guys, something's wrong. Like and I'm like, well, I looked at Bobby, and then I looked at Allie, and they looked exactly the same. Like their bodies were not like alive, and their muscles almost looked dead. And I'm like talking out loud. I'm like, okay. I'm like, your glycogen storage has got to be full because you guys just had a burger and fries. I go, so it's not a carb, a fat, a sodium thing because there was salt and all that stuff. I said, and you guys didn't take any diuretics today, but you took diuretics last night, so it's not a diuretic issue. So I was like, I don't know. I said, Allie normally drinks like 2 gallons of water a day. I'm like, and you cut her water pretty hard. And then she goes, I didn't drink with my burger and fries. She goes, I only sipped. And I go, wait a second. I go, you didn't drink anything? And she goes, no. And I go, well, that's the fucking problem. I go, guys, you guys didn't drink fucking, you're supposed to have 10 to 12 ounces of fluid with that meal. So you can't shuttle the carbohydrates without water. I'm like, you guys, I go, neither one of you drank anything? They're like, no. So I, right then and there, I filled up a glass, probably about 10 ounces, and I made them both drink 10 ounces of water. And then I gave them both another 12 ounces, and I go, sip on this until I go finish this right before you get on stage. So Allie won the overall, the whole show. And then Bobby, which I've never seen before, right? They judged, Ian, you would have loved this. They judged the fucking overall. They did the pose down. After the pose down, they said, it's a tie. We have to rejudge it. So they rejudged them again.
What the fuck?
And did another pose down. My buddy, Bobby, the kid I was helping, was losing by a point. Because of the fucking water, he started, his body came back to life during the fucking final poses and on the pose down that he got so much dramatically better from the fluid. They fucking rejudged him, and he won after the fucking second pose down.
That's never.
I've never seen it before in my entire life, and I was I was so excited. It was the most exciting bodybuilding show I've ever seen.
Are you lying?
I swear to God.
Stuff always happens only to you.
No, he's that guy, eh? Has these.
No one has ever rejudged the show after.
Crazy, dude. I was standing up. I had goosebumps, hair sticking. I was going crazy.
I think he just gets out more than us.
It was the most exciting.
No.
Allie looked fucking awesome. She smoked it wasn't even close. Like she demolished everybody, and Bobby demolished everybody in this class. But when he came out for the overall, I was like, fuck. I was like, something's off. And then like after like a minute, I was like, he's getting better. He's getting better. And then the pose down happened, and he was like walking around, and he looked like a different human. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then when they rejudged it, I was like, he is either gonna fucking die, or he's gonna take second. And then the guy was fading fading. And then like Bobby was getting better, but he was tired. And I'm like, wake the fuck up. Like I was going nuts in the audience. It was the most intense show I've been at. I loved it.
That happened to me with John in Toronto. He took a look at me. I was out of shape, but he was trying to work with me the best he could.
16?
Huh? 16. Yeah. I was out of shape. And he looks at me. He's like, you need water. He's like, it's going to help you through prejudging. You're going to be fucked for the night show. I'm going to be like, all right. So we drank like, I don't know, 2 liters of water or a liter of water. I can't remember. But immediately everything kind of came alive. Same thing.
Yep.
And I did well at prejudging. They had me in the middle for a little while, but then I think even near the end of prejudging, it started to smooth out a little bit because I wasn't in shape. It was like, it was a really short prep. It was just a bad, but anyway, so the water thing can help, but that helped you because it was at the very end of the show.
Yes.
Because if you try and do that at prejudging,
it would have helped.
By the time the night show rolls around, he'd been fucking soft as fuck.
Yep.
So yeah, you only get like, even John even told me that. He's like, look, we have like an hour. He's like, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a Hail Mary, but
the one thing that I learned. Oh, sorry, Ian. Go ahead.
Were you third or fourth at that show?
Third. I was fucking winning.
Nathan won, right?
Yeah, they had me. And if you look at the photos, I'm dwarfing Nathan at that show. I mean, Nathan's a lot bigger now, but that was like, I think his second or third.
No, you would have been 228 at that show, you know?
Yeah. So I definitely should have won that show, but then I spilled over. So Nathan was first, Max was second, I was third, Ben was fourth.
So my point I was making was that one thing that I learned was that sometimes if you just take a step back and just use logic, a lot of times logic solves a lot of problems.
Well, the logic of that though is tricky because a lot of people wouldn't think to add water to get better.
Well, that's but what I'm saying is when I figured out the one piece of the puzzle that wasn't even there, but the tricky part was,
I'm only saying is that's a piece of the puzzle because most people wouldn't think water is even a piece of the puzzle.
I know. What I'm saying is I got nervous because of what you said. Because I was like, I know he needs water, but
you thought it was going to spill? Yeah.
But I was like, how much?
Yeah.
Because there is like, just because you need water, there is a limit.
Of course.
And I was like, I don't know what this limit is, and I'm going to roll the dice here and say.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why. But that's why when people say like, "Oh, Chris Aceto is only Chris Aceto because it's a name," I'm like, no, Chris Aceto's been around for 30 years. Huh?
Because of his eye and how he can read a body.
That's what happens when you've been coaching for 30 fucking years. You go through all these little scenarios and they help you understand the little minutia.
You fuck up some and realize what you should have done the next time. Different.
That's the difference between
this works if I do this,
Yeah. The good difference between a guy who just started, who's really good, and someone like Chris or Chad or something is everything is great when the prep is going well, but when the prep goes wrong,
troubleshooting.
Yeah, it's the troubleshooting that makes them different and makes them better.
So Bobby and Ali,
congratulations. Are you coaching now? Like, are you full-time coaching now?
I've always been. I'm just, I mean, these
you don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I just, it's exciting for me. I never thought I'd be excited to like be at shows and like do it. And I get excited watching my people on stage, man.
I don't see you having the patience though.
I actually have, every one of my competitors that I helped, I was there until they walked up the stairs and got on stage.
No, that's not what I mean. I see you caring. I see you being a caring coach.
Oh yeah, very.
But I don't see you being a patient coach. Like if somebody's not listening or somebody's an idiot, you're like, fuck off, get out of here. That's the kind of coach.
No, I don't say fuck off, get out of here, but I put them in their place very quick.
Yeah. So you're like a matter of fact. Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's kind of how.
Like my one client who's a bikini client, Heather, who took second and 2/3. 10 weeks out, she's like, I don't see my glute ham tie-ins. I go, and it's 10 fucking weeks. And then right before the show, it was like 2 days out. She was like, am I lean enough? I go, remember 10 weeks ago? I said, you were 127 pounds. I go, you're 107 now. I go, and you don't think you're lean enough? I go, how about you just fucking pose and don't worry about what you think you look like, and I'll do the rest.
Do you coach more women or men?
It's kind of equal, man. I got a lot of women.
How's your girlfriend feel about you coaching women?
He almost answered that.
I know.
He almost answered that.
Well, I said Allie's name like 5 times on that.
I know you did. All right, let's do some questions before we go.
I had a guy in the Toronto Pro.
Amateur, obviously.
Yeah, I had a pro today too, but I had a guy in the heavyweight amateur who came second.
That's awesome.
Oh, Brandon, I want to give a shout out to Brandon Medak. He won today.
He won my class. He beat my guy. Yeah.
Brandon, actually, you know what? I'm going to show his fucking photos because he's like, I think he could probably compete in the 212 next week if he wanted to.
The guy that won the overall, the super, did the open today.
So I'm going to tell you guys, this is really interesting, and this is something for competitors watching right now. So Brandon has been trying to get his pro card for a little while, and he's always had the physique, but I don't know if it's just something has always kind of gone wrong the last day or something. Anyways, so last week he did my show, and last week he took second in the heavyweight class. Brandon Mendoza won.
Who ended up fourth in that class.
Yeah, he won the overall at my show.
Yep.
So they came out, and and Brandon Medak was pissed. Not because he thought he won. He was just mad because he didn't win.
Mad at himself.
He's mad at himself. Yeah. So I pulled him aside. I said, look, man, keep your fucking head down. Just get a little more shredded. Next week is a new set of judges. You never know what's going to happen. Just come back better. And so I think he did. And I said the same thing to Brandon Mendoza. I said, look, just because you won doesn't mean you're going to win for sure, because next week is a different set of judges. So make sure you fucking hold together and try and get even better, because you know Brandon Medak is going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what fucking happened. So I'm going to show people what happened now. So they come back. This is Brandon Medak. He came back tighter. And then this is the lineup. This is Brandon Mendoza, who won last week. He's fourth here.
Yeah, that's my guy to his next one.
This guy here.
Yeah.
And this is Brandon Medak. And you can see he's got a ton of muscle.
Yeah.
But
especially from the back. He's just excellent from the back.
Yeah, he is. He's very, very good. And these pictures don't really do him justice. He's actually very thick.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of a lesson to people watching. Like, man, that's a week apart. And one
I say this story all the time. I took
I've heard this 7,000 times. Jesus.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you're talking.
Let's listen to it again. I'm just joking.
But I mean, most seriousness, if you're a week
I'm joking. Tell me the story, guy. Let him tell the story.
What story?
The one where you took seventh and then you came back against like 20 guys and you won.
No, it wasn't 20 guys. It's 4 of the guys that were there at California.
Okay, tell the story. I tell the story. I'm fucking around. Tell the story.
I compete in 2019. I couldn't. It was when I came back from shoulder surgery. I was trying to compete. I was taking 4th, 3rd. I did Cali. We tried something different with no diuretics and like a little bit of alcohol in the coffee thing. And I ended up looking like shit and sweating my ass off on stage. And I was 7th.
Yeah.
6 days later, I went to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And I think 3 or 4 of the guys that were at the Cali show that beat me were at that show, and I ended up fucking winning.
But there was like 20 guys in that lineup in Niagara Falls, wasn't there?
No.
Oh, wasn't 10? That big?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and that's the same point I'm just trying to make.
That was the why I was saying my story.
Yeah, no, these guys, you know, if you're.
No, I mean, look, if the body fat is relatively low for the first show, you can make a big change in a week for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're
like,
fat,
look, if you still have 10 pounds, if you still have 10 pounds of body fat to lose, I'm sorry, you're going to need more time. But if you're a pound or 2 off and the water manipulation's a little off and you just didn't quite hit your peak, you can look really, really good and really different in a week.
So let me tell you this too, and this is tricky. You know, competitors aren't going to know this, but this is why it's important to go hard. Even if you lost one, to go hard at the next one, because I know there's a different set of judges at this table. So you don't, even if you look exactly the same, there's a new set of eyes looking at you.
Yeah.
And I know the judges that are sitting at that table like muscle more than the judges that were at my show.
Yeah.
So
and this was the same as, sorry, finish up.
No, go ahead. No, I just knew he was going to have a better chance as long as he's a little sharper.
Well, this was the same, like last year I won Tampa, and then 1 week later I did Texas.
Yeah.
And it would have been easy for me to be like, hey, I won Tampa, I'm good, blah, blah, I'm in the same package. But I knew I was going against Kuklo. I knew it had actually been, that Lahar had been close on my tail in Tampa.
Yeah.
And I knew that with the judging there and what my attributes were over Steve's, that I had to play the conditioning card. I knew that I wasn't going to be bigger than Steve. He's taller, wider guy than me. I think we're similar in terms of our level of muscularity, but he's just a bigger guy than me. Yeah. So I was like, my calling card here is just going to be more peeled than anybody in the lineup by 10% at least, Yeah. And that was the only way I could do that. So it's like different judges, different things, and you can make a lot of changes in 6-7 days for sure.
And I think the thing that you're saying is good. I don't think a lot of people do. Like, just because it's not like a football or something like that, like, you still got to look at the playbook, man. You still got to see who you're going against, what their strong parts are, what their weak parts are, what their strong poses are, because you want to be able to hide, your obviously weak points, but against somebody who's hitting, like David Henry would always hit this hand clasp most muscular. If I was next to him, I would never hit it because he would always look better. So what you're talking about as well, like, you got to know the guys you're going up against and how to be better against them.
Yeah, I mean, like, not to sound even like a little more politicky to it, but it also matters too when you get to a level depending who's judging the show. You know, what Tyler Mannion likes versus Steve Weinberger versus Sandy.
Yeah, like I always knew Sandy loved my physique.
Yeah.
Well, and that's not a political thing though. That's
no. Oh, sorry, I don't mean political. I just mean like differences of opinions.
Bodybuilding is very subjective, and
it's very subjective. Like I said, somebody in the comments. Why I said that is because someone in the comments is going to say, "Well, they should judge all the same." But it's like, well, not everyone sees things the same way.
No, yeah, the criteria is the same, but because it's subjective, everybody likes something different. Like that's why I said the judges at my show I knew liked more of an X frame with a smaller waist.
Yeah.
I knew the judges at the Toronto show are a little bit more old school and they like thicker, dense muscle.
Sure guys.
So I'm like, just go back and show it to them. So congratulations to Brandon, man.
Brandon, good job, homie.
Finally got his pro card and he's a
Did he get a pro card?
I believe so, yeah.
No, he didn't win the pro card.
Oh, he said bittersweet because I lost the overall. Oh, that sucks.
The super heavyweight Gabriel Gariepi won the
How come they give away like one pro card at Canadian shows and they give out 15 at like American shows?
They give out
that's more people in the US, I guess.
I thought they changed it so like every class could get a pro card now.
No.
Not that I'm for that, but if they're going to do it in the States, why don't they do it here?
Well, because there's 10 times as many competitors in the States.
But that would make it even more important to do it here.
You give out pro cards like you give out Vax cards.
No, you're giving like pro cards per capita, you know?
Oh, that's fucking stupid. I think if it's a pro qualifier and no matter where it is, if you're going to give away a pro card to every class winner.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's still Vancouver Pro. I mean, I'm sure Medak will be there, you know?
It's fucking stupid. He should have his pro card.
I don't agree.
I'm not saying that just so people in the comment section don't shit. I'm not saying there should be. If it was up to me, it would go back to the old days where it was like 1 or 2 pro cards a show. But what I'm saying is if some shows are going to do it every class, then all shows should be that way.
I agree with you.
So anyway, okay. One more thing I want to ask you guys before we do a question or two. If I say,
no,
guys are going to shit on me for this. Okay. So I'm talking to Samson and I say, I'm into cars and I'm into motorcycles. Right. Then Samson finds out the next day at the show, he's talking to Nick, one of the guys I know. He says to him, yeah, Fouad's been riding for like a month. So Samson goes, you said you were into motorcycles. You've only been riding for a fucking month. He goes, what the fuck? And I go,
I would have been like, you said you're outdoorsy.
I go, I am. That's what I said. I said to us, you said you're fucking outdoorsy because you go to the park. I'm like, we're fucking even, motherfucker.
I mean, you could be.
I would agree.
I said to him, I said nothing I said was a lie. I said I'm into motorcycles. I didn't say I've been riding for 2 decades.
Yeah, you didn't say you're a motorcycle connoisseur.
Yeah, I didn't lie, right? Like, is that acceptable?
You didn't say you're like a longtime motorcycle enthucily. You just said I'm into motorcycles.
Yeah, you didn't say you didn't say I'm
pool. If you start playing pool every day and say I'm really into pool right now. I really like pool. Are you lying? No, you know.
That's what I thought, right? I'm like,
you're good. You're good.
Samson, get a grip.
Yeah, Samson.
I mean, he's just friendly shitting on you, but it's
no, I know. We were just fucking around. But he was serious though. He's like, you can't say that. He's like, I'm like, then tell me what the time limit is. He's like 5 years. I'm like, so I can't say I'm into motorcycles until the 5-year mark.
Okay, so for the 4 years before that, are you not into motorcycles?
I said
it's like motorcycles.
I said so. 4 years and 300 days in doesn't count.
No.
So if you go, if somebody goes, oh, yeah, I have a motorcycle. Oh, you're into motorcycles? No, I just have one.
Yeah, it doesn't make
What are you supposed to say? No, I'm not into them. I have one. I enjoy riding, not into them.
Okay, so Samson, what we've established in this podcast is we're both wrong. You're outdoorsy because you go hiking in parks, and I'm into motorcycles. There we go.
No, Samson, you're on a low level of outdoorsy.
The low is the lower level of
Fouad is higher on the scale because he owns a motorcycle.
Yeah.
If you owned the camping equipment, you'd be higher than him, but you don't.
By the way, this motorcycle hobby is costing me a fortune. I thought it was going to be cheap.
Yeah, well, thanks to the TRX.
Yeah.
I just spent $3,000 on the TRX last week.
Be expensive hobby for sure.
Well, fuck, man, I'm modifying the fuck out of my bike now, and I'm like, fuck this.
Oh yeah, and then you're gonna get cooler helmets, cooler fucking clothes.
I have 3 helmets already.
Yeah.
Ian, I got my truck bed lined and a cover. It cost me $3,100.
Why did you do that? I told you to sell it.
I'm not selling it, you fucking scumbag.
I don't know why you're so stubborn. You're just going to burn through tons of gas.
Good.
So you don't have to listen to me.
Good. Help the emissions out in the world.
Yeah. Place is going to hell in the handbasket anyway.
Now I
Like,
got to keep my truck just so I can say I own a TRX too.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
So you sold it.
I did. The deal is done, but I'm waiting for my electric truck to come in. So
I hope you go to turn your truck in and you like severely damage it.
if anyone watching the podcast is in the Southeast United States or anywhere around and would like a 2015 Volkswagen Golf, fully loaded, leather interior, I'll hook you up.
How much?
Do you have a photo of it?
Hit me up.
How
Why?
much?
Oh, you're selling it because you got your truck now.
Buy my truck and my car here.
What truck did you get,
Oh,
bro?
you have the
Yeah, I
Stinger.
pulled the sticker down here, remember?
that's
Yeah,
right.
what truck?
I got a Lariat F-150.
Oh yeah, we talked about it. How much for the Golf? I need a car.
15.
You don't need a car. You have 2 cars.
Yeah, but I want a beater.
How much for the Golf?
It's too expensive for a beater. It's not that bad of a car. It's a nice car.
How much for the Golf?
I'd like 15 for it.
Guy,
How
what are
many
you gonna-
miles on that fucking thing?
Guy, what are you gonna offer him?
60,000.
That's not bad. I'll give you 12.
I'll give you
Okay.
13. I'll give you 13.
I'll give you 13-1.
You're both fucking around, so you go fuck yourselves.
13.
I'll give you whatever
and a
guy
high
gives
five.
you. I'll give you $1 more.
$1 more, yeah.
I'll give you $1 more than him.
This could go forever. Maybe we can keep doing this until we're up to 15 grand.
All right, let's we'll do a couple.
I
races.
moved, by the way. I moved.
Tampa, right?
Hey, you said something about moving.
We're in Sunrise now, like where De La Rosa's gym is.
How,
is that
have
where
you
you're
been
gonna, is that
there?
where you're gonna train?
I've been training there. I'm 3
How is
minutes
it?
down the road from it. It's
I
fucking
heard it's amazing.
it's fucking sick, man. It's the
Really?
best.
Who else? So who all is training there? You, John. What other pros are there?
There's a lot, man. It's a busy gym with really,
Urishna's there a lot, right?
huh?
Urishna?
I haven't seen her there yet, but
Oh, she posted there a bunch.
I've seen a lot of guys that look like they are pros or, people with really good physiques around there quite often. I mean, like the first day I trained there, because of the move, we trained like right in the hot time of like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it was pretty busy, which is great for them. I mean, they're killing it there. And
But
there was
is
a
it,
lot.
but is it great for you? Because I know you think you said Melissa doesn't like training at like really busy gyms.
She doesn't mind busy gyms. Like Chris minds that more, but
Oh, okay.
we don't mind busy gyms. Melissa just doesn't like training later in the day, but that's
Oh,
just
okay.
that was just when we trained that day because of the move. But
Yeah.
no, the gym's great, man. The energy's great. The equipment is awesome. It's big. It's open. He's got a lot of really nice stuff that they handpicked and did a really good job of. And it's just nice. It's just nice being around here, man. It's
Is
good,
it-
and it's like right down the street. It's like 3 minutes from my house.
Is it his gym by himself?
It's him and 2 others.
I'm really happy for John. John's a good dude, and I'm glad.
I really like John, man. He's just like a kind soul, like when you meet him, like when you see him, like when we were first down here, he was so excited for us to be here. He's giving us fucking hugs. And he's like, man, I'm just so happy to have you here. Like, this is fucking awesome. Like, he's got a torn bicep right now. So, we can't train together right at this moment, but when we can, I mean, it's great. We'll get some training and stuff. So it's good.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. I'm glad he finally found something that he can like put his effort into.
And our condo here, man, is fucking so sick. It's so much better than where we were
You're
staying.
covering your mic.
Oh, I said our condo here is really nice too. So it's a lot better.
Are you in a high rise or is it?
No, we're it's like those communities. It's like a 7-story building. We're on the ground floor, and then it's like, but I mean, we have everything in here, man. There's a full fenced-in dog park.
Oh,
There's
awesome.
a legit gym, and I'm not like talking about a hotel gym. I'm talking about with Cybex VR1, all the equipment, dumbbells to 100, stair mills, everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pool right out my back door. I can walk out right to the pools right behind my apartment.
Yeah.
2 bed, 2 bath with like 10-foot, 12-foot ceilings in here. Like, it's really nice.
So what about Revive Gym though? Are you still going to train there? How far is that now from you?
An hour and 15 minutes.
So you'll still go there sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, when Brett is down there 100%, I'd like to, and I like Eddie, the guy I was training with there. I'd like to, still train with him once in a while. So, I'm sure me, him, and Brett will kind of, arrange some stuff so that we can still link up and train. They come here, I go there, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But for now, it's good, man. I'm in my groove in prep, and it's kind of nice to be. When you go in a new place, it's like a nice new gym. You're in a nice condo. It's just like a little reinvigorating.
Yeah, it gets you like going again. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm in like a prep camp now, like I'm in like the nice place with the nice gym, and it's like I just have everything I want here, and it's like it's good. It's a good place for to be for where I'm at right now, I think.
So did you buy that place or are you renting it?
No, we're just renting, yeah.
So how long are you staying? Like, do you think you're staying there for a while or what?
We did a 6-month lease on it. That'll bring us to like the end of the year. And then we'll kind of decide from there. I mean, like, look, Melissa hasn't been back to Canada since August of last year.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously when she's able to go back home, I mean, she would be able to go now, but we don't want to mess around with crossing the border and immigration until everything's kind of finished up.
Yeah.
But, you know, once that's all cleared up, then she'll obviously want to go home. So, you know, we'll kind of go back and we'll stay there for a little bit and kind of decide from there what we're feeling. But, you know, so far I like it here. Like, look, Florida's way too hot for me. I couldn't live here all the time, all year. And I do miss seasons, you know, when it's 100 degrees all year, all the time. It doesn't feel right. And, you know, anyone that's grown up in like the Northeast, like any of us kind of thing, like you grow up with seasons, especially as a kid. Like, so think of how many good memories you have.
Kind of like having the winter come around.
The winter, like the fall playing in fucking leaves when you're kids. Like, these are the kind of memories I do want my children to have. So, you know, when the time comes of having kids, I would like to be back in that kind of area and closer to my family and stuff like that. But I mean, for the time being a selfish bodybuilder, living a bodybuilder life, I mean, I'm having a great time, especially here right now. Yeah.
It's funny. I said that to Paul. We were talking about Texas, and, you know, Ben said it snows there sometimes and that. And Paul was like, why do you want to move there? Why don't you move to like Vegas or something where there's no snow? I'm like, I kind of like the seasons.
Yeah, man.
I kind of like when it gets cold.
You miss it.
I kind of like when it gets cold. I look forward to the cold. Then by the time the cold is done, I look forward to the hot.
Yep.
It's like, I don't know.
It's like it'll be December, January, February here, and you'll walk outside and you'll be like, oh my God, it's so fucking hot, you know? Like it's too hot all the time. Like,
well, and the humidity there I couldn't deal with either.
Yeah, the humidity is a lot. And like it's tough for my dogs too. Like I have flat face Frenchies, you know, like I can't walk my dogs for 30 minutes outside here. It's impossible.
Can't deal with it, eh?
No, my God, there's no chance. Like Doug, my male, he's a little less flat faced and I'm a little more athletic. He can do maybe 30, 40 minutes if he's not running around, like if we're just like chilling.
Walking.
But B, my other one, she can do 15, 20 minutes and then she's going to die. You know?
I never even realized that, you know, because I take my dog to the park every day. I mean, I guess it's stupid to not think of it, but I was like, man, he's done after like 15 minutes when it's hot out.
You got to be careful, bro. I know somebody's dog that passed away was like not even like just about a year old.
I was worried about that guy.
Heat stroke. Yeah. You got to be like, when it's hot out, I give him 15, 20 and then I'm done. But there's always a bowl of water outside when I'm playing him full.
With flat faced dogs, you got to be very careful. They're not very good at temperature regulation and stuff like that, you know, and their breathing is not great. So you can get their hearts just jack the fuck up from that heat and they'll just fucking kill
because dogs don't have sweat glands. That's why they pant. So you got to be sure that there's
sometimes they just can't keep up with it, you know?
Yeah.
My worry was like, listen, my dog will play catch for an hour straight.
He
doesn't,
they won't stop.
He'll just, you know, but I mean, like I was talking to Samson about his Cane Corso and he was like, if he throws the ball for him, it's like, he'll throw it 5 times and his dog loses interest.
Yeah.
My dog will go get that fucking ball for an hour straight.
Yep.
And I'm like, so we're out there running in the heat. And I'm like, fuck, I think we're done. Like he wanted to keep going, but he looked like he was panting so hard.
When you can hear it, they start getting that.
I was like, I think we should go. And then the next time we went, I actually brought a bowl and a bottle of water with me.
You have to. You got to keep them hydrated.
Yeah, like my female Frenchie, which is the worst breathing, is the one that will play forever. Like I could throw the ball all day and she'll play till she dies, you know?
Yeah.
Like you got to be very careful with her. Like, I mean, even we've made the mistake in Ottawa, like when it was hot in the summer there, where we go out, where I was like, you know, just starting prep 16 weeks out. And I'm like, oh, I'll just walk outside to do my cardio, you know? So I take the dogs, walk for 30 minutes kind of thing. And it was hotter out than I expected. And I got 15 minutes away from the house and I have the Frenchie and she's like dying. I'm like, fuck, I don't know if she's going to make it 15 minutes back if I don't kill my dog. So I had to we had to pick her up and like get Melissa to pick me up, you know, like I was worried about the dog for sure. She was not doing hot. So you got to be careful.
Yeah. I didn't even consider it. You know, Summer said to me before, hey, you know, I think it's enough. And I'm like, nah, he's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
I mean, like, look, your dog's a lab. It can probably go for a while, but yeah, I mean, you have to be careful for sure.
Yeah. All right. Listen, guys, let's go.
It's funny on that note, but people think this about like animals and that their like stamina is so good. But I was actually watching a thing that humans of all the animals do have some of the best running and endurance and stamina of almost all living creatures like that.
Really?
Yeah. And that like way back in the day that there was actually a hunting method where they would literally just chase the animal until they would get exhausted and die. And like the animal would be faster, so they'd get away, but then they'd stop to break and then they'd rest for 30 minutes and then they'd see, oh shit, they're coming. They start running again.
Yeah.
The human keeps running, catches up, and eventually the animal just gives up.
That's what see, I told you guys, that's what wild dogs do.
Yeah.
They chase until the animal's tired and they kill it.
Yeah.
Well, Well, all that proves is how out of shape humans are because we can't fucking run for shit now.
No, but I mean, like, think of it though. Like at the elite levels where people actually train for running, I mean, there's people that run 100 miles, like no issue. You know, like
that.
obviously not no issue, but it's difficult, but very doable to run 100 kilometers, 100 miles. Like there's not any animal that can do that straight up. You know,
I hate going on about
like a horse is not running 100 miles straight.
No.
I hate going on about running all the time in this podcast because I don't want to turn to the running podcast, but I follow Cameron Haynes now.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking guy runs 26 miles. He runs a marathon every single day.
Are you kidding me?
I've seen people like this, man. It's crazy.
Dude, he gets up at like 5 a.m. and he runs like 10 miles. Then he'll run like 10 miles at lunch. Then he'll run another 6 miles when he gets home from work.
That's insanity.
Like, how the fuck do you run a marathon every fucking day? Like,
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Insane,
It's
man.
crazy. Anyway, listen, before we go, let's rate a couple physiques and then we'll take off because I'm starving. All right. Felipe Lardizabal is up first.
He's got some glutes on him. Jesus
He
Christ.
is classic physique, 5'11", 197 on stage. Getting ready for my first national show.
He looks solid for sure. I mean, the guy looks like he can get in shape. I mean, how far? It's just 3 weeks out. That's good conditioning, man.
Shoulders look good, arms look good, chest looks good, legs look good. I'm not sure how tight the waist is. Back
is great.
Back could be.
Oh, back could do a little more thickness through the mid back.
Hamstrings are good. Glutes are good.
Yeah. So I would say to kind of balance it out, maybe a little more delts and arms.
I feel like he needs more lat.
And more lat. Yeah.
More lat. More low
Or
lat.
just back thickness and lat, you know?
Yeah. See, like this is all pretty good. More tricep.
Yeah, more arm on there. Okay, his delts actually look pretty good in that shot. Chest looks great there if that's him on the right.
A little more hamstring.
I think it's, for me, it's mostly back.
Back.
Like it's low lat.
Yeah.
Let's
Got to
see-
fill in the lower lats
let's see
big
what
time.
this video. The quads look pretty good too.
He's got a
dude.
nice quad sweep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
You could get a little more trap on him too, just to balance out that upper shelf, you know?
I don't know why he's holding his stomach like that though. It looks like he's almost like pushing it out. Yeah, Felipe, you need to work on
Blow
this.
out that lower abdomen more.
I don't know if this is blown out or you're not blown out, but you need to blow that out for the stage, man. You can't have this sticking out in classic.
It looks like
Actually-
it has a little bit of a herniation there.
Yeah.
Actually.
Even in bodybuilding, you can't have it sticking out like this. You need to learn some stomach control, do some vacuums.
Glutes
Really-
are, yeah, I mean, he's in great condition. That's 4 weeks out. That's good condition.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
His-
He works with Jay Savoy, or however you say his last name.
So
Yeah, back is definitely the biggest thing.
yeah,
But good physique, though.
this is the area.
Yeah.
right here. So Felipe, you have a pretty even physique. I feel like you need more back and then stomach control is the main
Yep.
thing. Let's see what this looks like moving. Yeah, you can't walk out like that, brother. Man, I would say even more than the back. You see what Charles Griffin
Stomach.
did?
Yeah.
What Charles Griffin did this year by learning to do a vacuum change his entire physique. You
Oh,
need to
yeah.
learn, you need to learn how to do that because this can't. You're never going to win with the sticking out like
A
this.
lower paunch, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not like, no offense, man. Your physique is good, but that issue
Is gonna hold you back.
Is going to hold you back. Yeah,
I agree.
And-
yeah.
and your conditioning is great. Like, look at this. Where did that go? Here it is. Conditioning is good. Like everything's tight, hard, dry.
Yeah, and this is not even, he's just like, this was his like regional qualifier, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Full after
That's a good
training.
shot.
Full after training. Looks very good.
Yeah.
But again,
Give
like,
him, so this
see
is amateur classic physique.
yeah, I'm
I'm giving him a 7 on the button.
I was gonna say 7.2.
I was gonna say 7.5.
Yeah, I think 7.2, 7.5, 7, all in there is pretty reasonable.
Yeah. I think if he brings up his back and
I
fixes that
honestly-
lower abdomen, you could bring him up at least a point and a half to like mid-8 there.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say if this turns into a vacuum, he's up to an 8.
Hey,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. So okay, we'll do one more and then we'll go. Jaden Lewis.
You guys think I should keep letting this beard go or what?
Yep.
Yes. Always.
I've been keeping it a little closer for a while, but I'm like, oh,
You know who's got a really good beard?
Guys,
Flex Lewis. No, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Flex Lewis has a really good beard. It's
you can
thick.
see now, like even here with like my blonde in this light, look at my chin, how gray it is now.
It just looks like lighter blonde.
Yeah.
That's all gray.
I know, but it just looks like lighter blondes. I had to dye this shit.
There, look.
Yeah, but it still just looks like lighter blonde.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, bro.
This is lighter blonde.
Okay, fine. It's gray. You're old as fuck.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
All right, this kid's 5'10", 186, and he's only 19 years old. Okay.
That's a good physique for a young kid.
Yeah, structure's good.
Yeah, nice structure.
Wide shoulders.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell with like this amount of
Yeah,
body
these are
fat,
not great
but,
shots. Is there more than this?
I'm looking.
Back looks decent. Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's still
Like he's got kitty muscle still, you know?
kitty muscle.
No, like, you know, where it's like there's roundness there, but it's
I
still
get it.
soft looking, you know?
Yeah. This is pretty good. I mean, you can see the beginnings of.
Yeah, no, I mean, for his age, this is a good physique, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, I don't want to give a rating. It's still too young and immature to start, but
I mean, he's got good quads. You can see his quads there.
so this is
And that other shot.
this is the best shot. So
Yeah.
got some hamstring, adductors are good, quads are pretty good.
Back's wide.
Arms
back
need
is
to
wide.
come up for sure.
It looks like to me like arms and chest are the biggest
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's something else where we can see it. It's got a chest. See, then you look at that. That doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but it's not the worst thing ever.
To
Got
me,
big shoulders, man.
I guess to me, I'm just going to say, look, he's pretty proportionate everywhere, but he's just young, and it's going to
Yeah,
take
just
some
keep
time
growing.
to fill that out.
His back's not bad. Like good, you know, thick lower.
No,
right-
I mean, from left to right, he's doing a great job.
yeah,
Here's a good shot.
there's some good shots. Yeah.
Yeah, chest, definitely. Chest and arms.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say for 19, he's at least a 7.5.
I'll agree with you there. Yeah.
Yes.
Long way to go, but definitely lots of potential.
Yeah. But I mean, better than 99.9% of 19-year-olds, that's for sure.
Yeah, not as good as I was when I was 19, but you're good.
But we also all ended up being relatively top pros.
I'm just joking. Why did you say relatively, Ian?
Well, because none of us won Olympias.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll do one more since this one wasn't really Who's a little younger. We'll do one more. Tristan underscore EOANN. I think that's it. Tristan Ianides. Oh, that's good. That looks pretty fucking wicked.
That's good changes there. Look at that improvement.
Wow.
14 weeks between those photos. That's crazy.
A little thin through the chest.
He needs to get his gyno fixed, but I mean, that's not the end of the world, you know.
It almost looks like it's like baby fat. I don't know. There's not really much to rate. That's a bad pose.
I mean, he's got like a good structure. Like, I mean, you know, good abs, got some thick muscles, quads look thick, but there's not enough here for us to go off.
No.
Go down. There's one there in the center. What's these?
That's a good back.
Yeah, conditioning looks like it's getting good there.
It's still a little young. Let's see if I can find a decent one. Sorry, that's the wrong word. I shouldn't have said that. All right, let's do this one. Daniel Kopp.
Oh yeah, Daniel Kopp. This guy messages me. I think I've talked to this guy before.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. That's a little more mature. Decent triceps.
Great triceps, good abs.
Good stomach. Good chest.
Chest is good. Hamstring's a little weak.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, doing that pose also never helps people's hamstring cause because, like, see, it looks better there, but
Yeah, like
need
this.
more glute
Sorry, let's
for-
go back. You have to have good hamstrings to do this pose.
Well, you also need to hit it properly. A lot of people just stand on their quad. You still need to kind of push that knee back and sandwich that hamstring against that right leg.
Okay.
He looks like he needs more glutes.
That's what I just said. Yeah, here you can see he has very small glutes.
Definitely good hamstrings though.
Yeah.
And that's
The hamstrings and quads are good, and it looks like he is doing the right work for those, but he needs to get some more tension on those glutes for sure.
chest is small, triceps.
Got
Very
round
small peaked biceps. They're like golf balls, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
Crazy.
see a back shot anywhere, and that's not a good sign.
Go below. There's one right below that, and just scroll through these here. That's just
Chest definitely needs work.
Yeah.
So legs seem to be the best body part.
Yep.
Abs,
legs and abs are good.
abs are good. Shoulders are decent. I feel like arms and chest, and I can't find a back shot, which scares me.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, back needs to come up, but just in width, the thickness doesn't look terrible.
It might be because he's got acne on his back. He doesn't post back shots.
Yeah.
Could be. Got to post back shots, so we can't rate you.
No,
Right there. No, below. One right below this.
This is
it's not horrible.
no. This is also old, so who knows what it looks like now.
Yeah,
I'd say 6.8 to 7.
Yeah,
I'm say 6.5.
I think there's some good potential
A
there.
lot left to be desired. Just decent legs. His entire upper body looks like it needs to come up to me.
Yeah. 6, 8, 7. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
got a few of them in. All right, boys.
All right, guys.
Ian, good luck with your prep. Till next week.
Yep.
Guy, I'll
There,
talk
guys.
to you soon. All right, guys.
Assalamu alaikum.
Later. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.